Dear Ethan Klein, you can't litigate public opinion. I don't know who this person is. What is this? Oh, it's the premiere. It's the YouTube premiere countdown.
Political territory.
Ah, she's English. She's been farming H3 hate for years. Oh. A little person who's been criticizing Ethan's behavior on little people. No, this person. This person's not a little person. That's a different person.
Ethan Klein, a content creator who I have had a huge disdain for since the beginning of time, has recently been caught up in numerous different controversies that more recently have shifted into tense political territory. A brief TLDR on this is that Ethan Klein is Jewish and his wife is Israeli. His wife, Hila Klein, who runs the company Teddy Fresh, once worked for the IDF. Since the more recent popularization of the Israel versus Palestine genocide, and I'm calling it a popularization because this has been going on for quite some time now, I think it's like over 70 years, Ethan Klein's views on Israel, Palestine, Hamas, October 7th, as well as the fallout between him and his once friend Hassan Abi, of which they both had a podcast called Leftovers together, has kind of divided and split his audience, leading to Ethan Klein losing quite a few subscribers as well as alienating himself within the YouTube community. Now, let me make this clear. People are 100% entitled to their opinion, as well as Ethan Klein. So today, I really don't want to delve into the politics of it all, because quite frankly, I know where I stand and I don't feel like I need to qualify that to anyone. Free Palestine until the wheels fall off. However, Ethan Klein has been extremely vocal about his position, to the point that it has become a place of contention for quite a lot of his viewers, and has caused him to lose a lot of fans that have now landed themselves on the H3 Snark Reddit. The H3 Snark Reddit is a Reddit that was formed around the time of the Trishy Land saga. If you are unaware of the Trishy Land saga, as well as the Trishy's Fishies, Frenemies 3, Frenemies 15, and how the fallout of the Frenemies podcast literally birthed this subreddit as a direct response to the harassment that Trisha Paytas has faced at the hands of Ethan Klein's audience. I have about 50-11 videos, girl. I'll put a playlist somewhere on the screen. I have 50-11 videos. If there is one thing I have been consistent of, it has been my disdain for Ethan Klein. Okay? But essentially what I'm saying—
I can't do it. I just fucking can't do it. Can't do it. Can't do it. Oh! It's just all, it's all slop. What can I do? What can I say? I just feel... Oh, God. You watch Hassan and Pierce every day and you can't watch this. It's just right now, okay? I'm just not in the right position, okay? I'm just not right now, okay? Please. Just not right now. I just... No. No. Candace Owens versus Michaela Peterson. No. I just want to play. Do you know what? Do you know who I trust? There's only one person, okay? There's only one person I trust in this world. And it is indeed. It is indeed my WoW hardcore character. Okay. Or maybe it's Daniel Hagari. I'm sorry. No! Shut up. Didn't Blizzard have like a whole sexual thing or some... They had some scandal. Mr. Girl. He still uploads, isn't he, Mr. Girl? Turkey Tom did a video about him a month ago. YouTube's creepiest intellectual. What's he doing now? Stop with the fucking intro music. I don't like the intro music. Come on. Shut up. All right. His last thing was him on the hotline. You'll never admit you're wrong. The cheater's cuckold revenge plot. Is it justified to commit a genocide if it's to prevent potential genocide? Probably not. Separate the art from the artist. Mate, the guy... You can't say that. You cannot say that after someone just did an acting montage as an actor for his proposal video. You can't do that. That's not allowed. Okay.
Position to the point that it has become a place of contention for quite a lot of his viewers and has caused him to lose a lot of fans that have now landed themselves on the H3 Snark Reddit. The H3 Snark Reddit is a Reddit that was formed around the time of the Trishy Land saga. If you are unaware of the Trishy Land saga, as well as the Trishy's Fishies, Frenemies 3, Frenemies 15, and how
like H3 Snark right now is just Hassan's fucking support network. That's all it is, right?
fallout of the Frenemies podcast literally birthed this subreddit as a direct response to the harassment that Trisha Paytas has faced at the hands of Ethan Klein's audience. I have about 50-11 videos, girl. I'll put a playlist somewhere on the screen. I have 50-11 videos. If there is one thing I have been consistent of, it has been my disdain for Ethan Klein. Okay? But essentially what I'm saying is that there is a whole lore that surrounds this whole situation. But I felt like it was important to know that Ethan Klein's most recent discussions surrounding Israel and Palestine has definitely seen an increased boost in the H3 Snark Reddit, one that I have not seen before. Because again, he is creating a lot of quote-unquote fallen fans. However, in my last Ethan Klein video, which I think was about 2 months ago, we left off talking about the Jimmy Lee situation. A member of Ethan Klein's goof gang who was found to have been having some inappropriate relationships with some of Ethan Klein and the H3 fans, as well as a staff member. The situation got so bad that Dan screamed at him on the podcast, and Ethan Klein said something to the effect of, "I was trying to protect you." And a lot of people were questioning, why are you trying to protect an alleged predator?
You call dudes sexy when you
hit on girls. I'm married.
You're a liar. You're lying.
Okay.
You're straight up lying, dude. You are a liar.
I'm sorry, Jimmy. This is why I didn't want. I was protecting. I was protecting
right,
you.
Yeah,
well, little did we know 2 months ago that Jimmy Lee would become somewhat of an instrumental part of the present and current drama. So, as you guys know, Ethan Klein, H3 podcast,
I've never heard of this guy before.
Girl, I've been away
Jimmy
for a hot
Lee.
minute. We all take a break around Christmas time. Everybody's got to take a break. However, during Ethan Klein's break, he ended up having 2 very notable videos become popular and start discussion on social media about the integrity of Ethan Klein. We have Aubrey, a TikTok content creator who is a little person, who speaks retrospectively about his appearance on the H3 podcast and how he felt that he was used as a joke and a bit. And then we have Mika's Rhetoric, who made a video that didn't have become popularized
Yes.
until Nicholas Diorio began to speak about it. And Nicholas Diorio has been sucking the actual skin off Ethan Klein's peen. And no, that's not a circumcision joke. It is Nicholas Diorio literally having the mouth of a Dyson Hoover. Now, Ethan Klein claimed in his hiatus that he was going to be destroying these
God, it's all just so it's a very sexually inappropriate. The fuck. Oh well, whatever. It's glazing, I guess. Okay.
content creators when he returns. However, I couldn't help but be left with the feeling that Ethan Klein was speaking about these controversies that quite frankly are just mundane and boring in nature. Like, oh, somebody made a critique video about me and I don't like it, so I'm gonna talk about them. Wah. To steer attention away from a very hypocritical situation that Ethan Klein has found himself in, which honestly is more questionable when it comes to Ethan Klein's morality and integrity. And the literal brand that he built himself on, that he built his channel on, that he saved YouTube copyright policy with. Hey, hi. So it's literally like several hours later and I've been editing, as you can see. I look crazy, I look raggedy, but I completely forgot to tell you that I'm launching something. In a couple of weeks, we're thinking towards the end of January / the beginning of February, I am
so much compression on this. Oh God. She looks the exact same. Yeah, she probably feels different because she's been editing for a long time. I don't know. Whatever. Gah!
launching my very own podcast. I have a team, I have a co-host, like the whole nine, the whole shebang. I'm super duper excited to bring this to you guys. It's been a project that I've been working on for like a long while now, and it's literally just been a long process of finding the right people to help me out. We have correspondents who are literally going to be dialing in to be a part of the podcast so that you guys can hear from other people too. And hopefully, fingers crossed, in the near future, we'll be able to do loads of different interviews, because I feel like when I interview people, that is literally where I shine. So the podcast will be called The Paige Christie Show, and I really, really hope you guys will support and tune in. All of the details for that is on my second channel, which is linked in the description box down below.
Am I about to become the last YouTuber to have a podcast? Is that what's going to happen? I will do it. I will watch every other creator on the entire platform have a podcast before I do. Fuck. Wait, don't die.
So if I've been
Don't
MIA on any platforms that you guys regularly see me on, sorry Twitch family, it's literally because I have been working on this other project so that I can bring you guys even more content on a weekly basis on a second channel. I'm so excited. So yeah, tune in to the Paige Christie Show, and you know, because I'm a Virgo, the quality, it's gonna be top tier. So I'll see you there.
That's the trouble, like it's Paige Christie Show. We don't spill tea, we drink it. Ooh, yeah.
It's a very long intro. Long fade out. Okay, cool. Let's go.
This video will be chaptered, structured, as well as have a Google document in the description box down below for you guys to take a look at so you can see what me and my researchers have been able to find. I don't usually link the Google Docs it is that we use, however, I really don't want Ethan Klein to be able to use this as an opportunity to either say that my content is sloppy, like he did to Mika's rhetoric, that it lacks structure, like he did to Mika's rhetoric.
Like, this was all true, though. She literally just waffled in front of a camera in 4K, and everyone saw her do it. And she effectively admitted she was doing it. And she didn't do any research at all. The way she summarized my conversation with Ethan was just a fucking lie. She just lied about it. Like, she said I was asked about Gaza and aid and the fucking war, like the airstrikes, and apparently I couldn't answer any question about any of those issues, even though I literally spoke about each one of those issues at length. Like, she just lied, bro. She lied. She's a liar. At least I think that's what you call people who tell lies. I don't know. Fuck.
Or that it's not researched, like he did to Mika's rhetoric. So let's take a look at the current drama with Ethan Klein and how he is abusing copyright law in order to silence his critics.
Oh yeah, she did also say that because of she spoke about me, she had to speak about Destiny, and apparently he said that genocide was okay. He had to debate Finkelstein whether or not genocide was okay. That's definitely what happened. She's a liar. But this one's got receipts. Okay, let's go.
In today's video,
Dear
dear Ethan Klein, you can't litigate public opinion. Hiatus around Christmas time. I imagine to spend time with your family, all of that good stuff. And during this hiatus, a content creator called Aubrey Smalls, who describes himself as a historian as well as a filmmaker, with a TikTok following of over 180,000 followers, made a video speaking about an experience it is that he had on a podcast and why he is a little bit more selective when it comes to the podcasts that he chooses to go on to. Now, whilst he didn't say the specific podcast's name, it was pretty clear to the audience what podcast it was that Aubrey was speaking about. So in the TikTok video that went semi-viral on TikTok, Aubrey speaks about going on to the H3H3 podcast and how he felt like he was used as a bit. Now, Aubrey is a little person. He is a person with dwarfism who attempted to get onto the H3 podcast, a podcast that he was a fan of at the time, to potentially educate the extremely bigoted Jimmy Lee on why his jokes about people with dwarfism are inappropriate and just downright not funny.
So there was a podcast that I was on one time, and it was a horrible experience. And it's
Did you read 48 by Benny Morris? No, I read The Birth of the Palestinian Refugee Problem, in most part. 48, I think I started reading, but I went on a break because I was doing Hezbollah research instead. I should read that book, though. Apparently it's good. Apparently it has new information compared to Birth, because it's newer, isn't it? It's from the 2000s. Oh.
That's why I'm never going to go on another podcast again. And no, I will not be naming the podcast, even though some of you definitely know what I'm talking about. But they had a segment one time with the podcast owner's dad and some comedian who, mind you, the same podcast is now accusing of SA years later. But the comedian one day was talking in a bit about how he has a phobia of little people. And they were going on and on about a lot of miseducation around dwarfism in general. So I was like, oh my god, this is the perfect time to educate people. We love a good educational moment, especially as a viewer at the time, with dwarfism. So I wrote on their subreddit, I was like, hey, I'm a filmmaker and educator. I would love to come on and educate you guys and talk about the dwarfism community and specifically the phobia of little people, since I know that's such a gray area for a lot of people. So the post...
Did you read The 100 Years War in Palestine? Yep. Gotta oversell, right? I've noticed that there's this whole... If I ever had to summarize like an online leftist to someone, it would just be the kind of person who can remember the names of 20 books and will list them off to you, having read none of them. That's the gist. The ones I've read are Righteous Victims, Birth of the Palestinian Refugee Problem, Pape's Ethnic Cleansing of Palestine, Chomsky on Palestine, which is like a kind of conversation collection of him and Pape. I read, what's the one called Our Vision for Liberation? It's got like a bunch of different writers contributing to that. They each do like a chapter each. Read the beginning parts of 1948 by Morris. Read 34 Days, the one about the Second Lebanon War. Yeah, those are the books I've read cover to cover. Did you ever read anything by Finkelstein? I read some bits of Martyrdom, Gaza, Inquest. Mostly just looking for how bad his footnoting is. And it's quite bad. Surprisingly bad. Trying to think if there's anything else I've missed there. Other books I've read are about Lebanon, so... Did you not finish Prophets Without Honor? I did! Yeah, I forgot that one. Prophets Without Honor, yeah. But I never read Scars of War, Wounds of Peace, even though most people go for that one instead of Prophets. What about Pity the Nation? No, I haven't read that one. Okay, let's go. Whatever. Books.
Blew up. All the fans of the show were like, we would love to see Aubrey on the show. They reached out, and then next thing you know, I'm in the waiting room the next episode to talk to the comedian and the podcast owner's dad. And I thought this was gonna be a educational little moment, but I was coming on to be a bit. They essentially had, leading up to my appearance, a whole compilation of this guy, all the times that he said publicly on the internet that he's afraid of little people, and just a lot of derogatory jokes about little people. And then they were like, and drum roll, we have a little person to surprise you! And they brought me in with basically no warning.
Now, in this section of the video, Aubrey states that he
Is
was
she going to put in Ethan's response to this? Because I think Ethan has said that this is a complete mischaracterization of like what was agreed beforehand and what happened now. Literally told him that was what they were doing. Yeah, it's just like a... It's just people jumping on the bandwagon because there's quite a lot of clout now to be made from shitting on the H3 podcast. Specifically Ethan, but I guess like the crew get it by extension, don't they? I feel bad for the other ones. I feel bad, even like that AB guy and was it Olivia or whatever, like because they because so much of the aggression and inevitably ends up to them, because obviously if you make Ethan to be as unconscionable as possible, then it's like, well, why are you working for this guy? You know, why are you promoting this guy? Yeah. And then obviously to me as well for appearing. But Ethan said that. Ethan warned me. He was like, yeah, if you come on, the negative attention you're going to get is going to be like nothing you've ever seen before, some shit like that. It was really... and I was like, that big deal. It was definitely a bit more than I was used to, but it's not that bad. Like it's... Because we just... You know what I do. If people want to react to shit like that, I just watch them. I just watch the reactions, because 99% of those criticisms that come after it are complete dog shit. If anything, they're confidence boosters. Oh shit! I'm in trouble. All right, we're fine. We survived. You missed me being on the podcast. God damn it, Sundown War. Sundowner. Think of your Discord name. Farming haters. Yeah, well, have you read anything from Waleed Khalidi? No. I read a few bits of All That Remains, and I read a couple of pages of his Dare Yassine book. But no, nothing at length. It's hard to get his work in English, though. Genitalia? No. See, I don't even know who that is. The memories of Abu Iyad. I sent them to you. They're fun. Well, Sundowner, in the coming days and weeks, you're probably going to have a very crucial role in this stream. Oh, what? Is it a fucking joke? Okay, wow. Did you just get me to do a what's up dog, but in Arabic? Fucking cunt. Alright. Ugh. That's not funny. That's actually quite racist against white people and Christians. What's your favorite opening with white pieces? Is this another fucking euphemism? I don't... No, surely not. Vienna. Oh, look who's come to tell me what I was actually... Alright, what? Hello?
Oh, you can hear me. Okay, so long time no see. Anyways,
Hey.
joke was not made by me.
Oh, it's by the
made
other person. Okay.
Yes.
Because
He
Jenna
was
is not really a very common... Okay.
genitalia, like.
Oh, genitalia. Oh. Did I say Talia, though?
How did
So I
you
didn't really
fall
fall
for
for it. I said Talia. Genitalia. Okay, I thought
Yeah,
there was
sure,
some
buddy.
Arabic shit going on. So what, is this Abu Iyad
Okay.
person? Is that a real person?
Yes, he was like the second in command in Fatah,
Okay.
and he was the one who pushed for the entire person to follow shit and for the peace process as a whole. He was like the great reformer behind it. You know, when you keep yapping about when Fatah reformed its charter and made
Yeah.
it more You know,
They made it more
he
nice.
was the one
yeah.
who did it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he was the one that did it.
It's when
Yeah.
Clinton came down to
It's
actually
rumors
watch
are
them
fun.
change it in the fucking like house session or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, it's actually very hard to find an English translation, but I found one. I sent it to you a couple of months ago, but you don't seem to be familiar with it. I will try to find it again.
Yeah, I might even be able to scroll back because if you just control F in a Discord fucking DMs, it'll find it as well. If you remember what you said. But yeah, we're probably going
And
to be
also, like, there
revisiting
were
that stuff quite soon.
5 people called Abu Iyad in Fatih, so it can be
yeah.
a bit confusing.
We love those, yeah. Well, it's history of Hezbollah first, and then after that, we're going to tie up everything with all the IP stuff. So look forward to it.
Sounds
Okay.
fun. Anyways, the main reason I actually came here today after a long time off
Yeah.
is I really, really wanted to mug you.
Okay.
You remember, like, a month and a while ago, we were talking about how nobody gives a fuck about Syria, how nobody cares, how it's a completely not interesting subject.
Well, they care when Assad's fucking
Just-
getting
No.
bogged by
Just when the offensive came on, like, how do you feel about it? I just want to know does it feel to be so fucking wrong? Like, I have never been so wrong in my life, so I really want your experience on it.
Well, given the contribution from everyone else on this fucking platform in my space, basically just said, yeah, you know, Assad's bad, but also we should be really worried about this HCS guy, and he's probably collabing with Israel, and he's probably a Zionist, and Israel funded him in 2012, and let's go back to Gaza. Like yeah, no, actually I'm completely fucking vindicated. No one gave a fuck apart from me and the people in this fucking Discord. You're
What do
welcome.
you mean?
I'm a white
entire
savior.
fucking
I'm a
news
white
was all
savior.
about this
I
problem.
listen. Okay, thank you for reminding me. Holy shit, I was a
What the
white
fuck you
savior.
mean you are
the
a
amount
white
of
savior?
the amount of
Buddy, you are
POCs
from
we had
Lebanon.
on covering that shit.
Just
It's all
as shit-skinned as me.
the amount of POCs we had on to hear their voices, and it's all getting compiled now into a montage of the Syrian thing as the fall of Assad as it happened, right? And we introduce everyone as characters and shit. Have you seen this? Have you seen the?
No, actually, I did not watch this. scene
It's
for a
coming
while.
up. Yeah, don't worry, you'll see it. You're featured. You have an introduction and everything.
It's fucking go.
Okay. Listen. Also,
Anyways,
just
wanted to remind you that I am correct on everything that's related to the Middle East, and every time I tell you to take a close eye on something, you should listen to me.
listen. Go to the Syrian border and say that Lonerbox says you're welcome for all the coverage. Okay.
Yeah, sure, buddy.
All right. Love you.
See you later.
Bye bye. The POC viewpoint for real, for real. I'm sorry. I missed him. Okay.
Was brought in with no warning. Now, this one sentence has become like a huge cause for contention when it comes to discourse online, with people assuming
Apparently, Apostate Prophet debated a pro-Palestinian UCLA student. Do you want to watch? Not really.
that Audrey meant that he was not aware that he was going to be going on to the podcast to confront Jimmy Lee as well as Ethan Klein's father, who both seem to equally share this really bigoted point of view of little people. However, when you put it together with context and actually seeing the footage of the altercation that took place on the H3 podcast, you will actually find that the people who had no warning was Jimmy Lee and Ethan Klein's father. They were unaware that Aubrey was going to be having this discussion with them. So to me, it was somewhat understandable that Aubrey would kind of feel a little bit slighted about the fact that the guests weren't prepared.
cat's eye.
And I genuinely believe that the context was correct. Aubrey was brought in very much like, well, guess what? We've got a little person for you, and they're going to talk to you about why you shouldn't discriminate against them. To your face. It was quite clear to me, at least from the outset, that this was less of an educational moment as it was a moment of entertainment. It's that same entertainment value that a lot of people felt when Gideon went to the most racist town in the US to confront racists as a black man. Like, realistically, bigoted people like this aren't going to find any kind of common ground. So the altercation is basically seen as entertainment for the audience as well as for the people who hold these very narrow-minded views.
And the whole bit was basically just about having a little person go against two guys who were just talking about how little people, what are they going to do? Kick you in the shins? And then brought me in. And it just really solidifies the fact that...
Bro, that Justin Baldoni. That Justin Baldoni guy. You should go on his Being a Better Man podcast or whatever the fuck it's called. And I'm Not Like the Other Men podcast. We should go on that and like do a surprise appearance as someone who hasn't pretended to communicate with his fucking fiance's dead dad to get approval for marriage.
One, I'm a class act. Because y'all, I wanted to cuss them out. But I do believe in digital footprints, and mind you, this was in front of like 50,000 people watching live. And because what you're not gonna do is pretend like just because I have dwarfism that you can suddenly start making jokes as if I'm not a grown man who pays taxes and like has a life. Shame on you, weirdo.
Whoa.
But two, again, I'm an educator. I do believe in trying my best. And I did what I could. They weren't willing to listen. They weren't wanting to listen. The whole crew was just laughing the whole time. And it was like an out-of-body experience. I definitely disassociated for maybe 30 seconds because I was like, it's very strange watching something that you consumed for so long.
There's something... There are just so many terms now that I just can't ever take someone seriously when they say them. So like one is, hi, can I come on to educate you guys about XY? Fuck me if I ever invite... Oh God. Like as a friendly request, hi, can I come on to educate your podcast? Fuck me. And then the second one is, I dissociated. I don't know, when people tell me they dissociate, it's always like... I don't know, it's always after someone just does some really horrible shit. I know they're not saying it in this context, but whenever I hear people use those two words, I'm like, fuck, there's something weird going on there. Something untrustworthy. I'm dissociating soy. I said soy in the response to that fucking Do Not Worry podcast, didn't I? They saw me saying soy. Oh God. Soy.
And then finally being involved in that circle and then just realizing you're there to be a joke.
Oh.
Very weird thing. And it really, now I'm so conscious of what I say yes to and the things that I say and participate in.
I thought the fucking potion was supposed to let me see you.
The only podcast I listen to now, because I ain't listening to that anymore, is Do We Know Them? Because we love the girlies, and one of them actually has a child with a disability and talks so openly and respectfully about that. And then also I listen to my own podcast because I love the sound of my own voice. Sorry, some of us have soothing, calming voices that's enjoyable to listen to. But don't worry about me, though. I'm doing better things. At the time, I had just started working on my documentary, and I was also told them that I would love to talk to people about that and why I was making a documentary about little people that actually hired little people behind the camera and in front of the camera in the first place, you know, because of issues like us being constantly used as like I'm scared of little people and the experiences that we have. But that fundraiser, it took a long time to reach our goal, but we finally did a couple months ago in the summer, which was really exciting. And also, I'm still hot, so, and the podcast owner now is crashing out on the internet publicly, so, how things change.
Now, it's clear that Aubrey was looking retrospectively at what took place all those years ago and basically seeing the current controversy that Ethan Klein has found himself in and his subsequent crash out as some karmic justice. However, Ethan Klein, during his hiatus, would go onto Instagram to say the following: "Enough with these weak-ass call-outs, trying to cash out on H3 hate. This shit's not paying out anymore. Fuck this dude. We have insane amounts of receipts to disprove everything. I see you trying to erase shit too. Don't worry, I have it all saved. Why the fuck would you make this video? Jake Doolittle levels of self-owning. Enjoy the new year, dipshit. Man, this dude is gonna look so effing dumb when we're back. So obvious with this comment, he's scraping for any clout he can get from this new wave of H3 hate. And he always starts talking shit the minute I'm on break too. Just a little coincidence. So in response to this, and likely knowing that he was going to be featured on a segment of the H3 show, Aubrey decided to take
Lonerbox batshit burrito got arrested by Argentine police in Buenos Aires. Okay.
to TikTok to basically explain
Why
why
not,
it
eh?
is that he felt the way that he felt, as well as basically saying that the podcast was pre-recorded, that there was lots of information and context that were left out. He encourages the H3 team to
Fucking
show
tiger.
the entire recording, as well as making it known that there was frequent usage of slurs towards little people.
Uh-oh.
Hi everyone, I'm going to talk about this once and then we're moving on. I posted a video today about a podcast appearance that I was on 2 years ago, and although I did not disclose the name or the podcast that I was on,
Guess why? Take one guess. I don't believe you, Hawk the Wise. You're trolling. Sorry.
the viewers have figured it out. So I wanted to address the comments and questions in the recent Instagram post that Ethan Klein made about me a few minutes ago. This is a deeply personal and important topic for me, so I wanted to take some time to set the record straight and share my side of the story. There's been a lot of conversation from Ethan Klein's fans about me trying to clout chase by sharing this story, which again, never mentioned his name, and that I'm trying to capitalize off of Ethan's current situation.
inciting
That couldn't be further
terrorism.
from the truth, so I
Okay.
wanted to make this video to explain everything in full context. In 2022, I was a listener of a podcast, and with one episode where they were talking about phobias and fears of little people, and proper wording for people with dwarfism. At the time, they were using slurs that most of us know are not appropriate, but I figured it would be a great opportunity to see if I could get on the show to talk about the proper verbiage and to educate people on dwarfism. As someone with dwarfism myself who
What is this? I didn't disclose the podcast. I know, it's like the plausible deniability is ridiculous. Yeah. Hey, Hawk the Wise, you got a challenge. I got a challenge for you, okay? Go in the Discord and link or get banned, okay? That's your little challenge, okay? I don't entertain fake news on this platform. Huh.
experiences in-person and online harassment just because of the fact that I have a disability. I was hoping that this appearance would help bridge the gap of understanding and start some meaningful dialogue. Unfortunately, during the episode, I was subjected to ableist jokes and comments about little people that made me really uncomfortable. I kept my composure and smiled at the time. It was really hurtful, to be honest. I didn't even know how to process it in the moment, except for doing what I do best, which is putting a smile on things and trying to spin it in a positive direction. Immediately afterwards, I emailed the crew asking if I could come back on the show during a live segment to talk about what I wanted to talk about in the first place, because I was worried that just the segment we had filmed would leave a bad taste in people's mouths and make them assume that I was part of this joke that I was never keyed in on. So I was on the show again a few days later after the segment we had pre-filmed aired, and they played it again and then had me come on and talk about it. And I just stayed positive because I was hoping that if I was positive and I was focusing on the good, that people would forget about the segment essentially.
Wow.
I was hoping that by focusing on kindness
beautiful
and grace
tiger.
and showing empathy,
I'm gonna kill it.
that would go farther.
A majestic species. Go.
As opposed to
Die.
what happened during that segment. Ethan and the crew talked on the show, that episode, the live one, about how they had to edit a lot of stuff down, so I hope that maybe one day they'll release the full video so that you can see all of the jokes that I was subjected to that didn't even make it into the final cut. After the episode and the days following, I posted on the subreddit thanking the host.
Link to Discord. It's, I didn't say you were. Wah! Elite Tiger! Not ready for you yet. Whoops. It's Lonerbox. No, discord.gg/Lonerbox.
And to the crew for having me on, because I wanted to focus on the positives, which was that the audience was actually really lovely to me, and I think really understood the message that I was trying to convey, despite having to fight people who just were refusing to see my humanity during that. I didn't want to stir up controversy because I had no followers on the internet at the time, and this podcast and the host had millions of followers, and I also hadn't fully processed what had happened since the segment just had come out. So I figured if I stayed kind and positive, that people would focus on the educational purpose of my appearance as opposed to everything else. As time went on though, I reflected on that experience more and more. I realized that these ableist jokes weren't just one-off harmless jokes. They were a part of a larger pattern of influencers on YouTube and social media using their platforms to perpetuate harmful jokes and ideologies about little people.
Now, it was quite clear to everybody that Aubrey was speaking retrospectively, and I have to keep saying this because it seems as if nobody on the H3H3 cast can understand what it means to look backwards at something retrospectively and change their mind on positions and behaviors that took place. It's almost as if Audrey isn't allowed to change his mind about the way it is he feels about that past episode in 2022. Like, if we're keeping it a buck and a bean, girl, I used to be a big old hoe back in the day. There are people retrospectively I wish I never slept with. For instance, there are a lot of bigoted comments and slurs that Ethan Klein has said. In the same light, there are lots of things that I'm sure that Ethan Klein retrospectively does not agree with. For instance, he retrospectively apologized to QT Cinderella for the way it is that he portrayed her on the podcast. He's made it quite clear that he doesn't agree with the behavior it is that he displayed. And he disagrees with the jovial nature of how he did that segment. So please explain to me why Ethan Klein has the ability to retrospectively look back and disagree with past actions, but Audrey Smalls can't look back on his appearance at the podcast and not agree with the circumstances of how it took place. It's giving very much rules for me and not for thee, and it's just a H3 hypocrisy. We are very used to this by now.
Now Ethan is claiming that he has proof that I was okay with the appearance.
So you can't retrospectively apologize. Okay, interesting. Ethan let him talk about how little people were discriminated against. How long ago did this appearance happen? Because if this person is the one who was, if this person has just made this decision to go after Ethan now when everyone on the internet's doing so, then obviously it's just very obviously calculated, right? Like, it's just deliberate bandwagon humping.
And people are upset because I've deleted the posts today on Reddit and Instagram celebrating the appearance. And that's honestly just because those posts don't accurately represent how I feel. And I feel that they're being used to invalidate my experiences and to ignore the fact that there was a lot of ableist rhetoric going on, that the segment was harmful, regardless if people think it was a joke or not, and that those posts are not proof of anything but those moments right after the podcast where I was trying to stay positive and pivot in a more positive direction. For those calling me a clout chaser or saying that I'm hopping on a hate train because the host is currently under some controversy, that is just so far from the truth. I've been speaking about this for years now and never once mentioned the name or the podcast, which would be something you would do if you were looking for clouts. This is about advocating for fairness and respect, not about hating or canceling people. I understand that fans of the podcast may feel defensive or upset, but I urge you to see it from my perspective as someone who is subjected to hurtful language about literally my body and the way it looks every single day, and then to have that put into a video form with 1.1 million views as of today. Just because one audience might see a set of jokes funny or harmless doesn't negate the fact that they can be harmful to the larger disability community. There is no timeline for when you're allowed to feel uncomfortable by a situation where, regardless if you want to admit it, ableism was perpetuated. And I think especially at the time, I think it's a very normal experience for people to have, to sometimes freeze up in the moment and go, I'm just going to play along because I just want to get out of the situation and I don't want this to be forever how people perceive me. Which again explains why I was trying to be so positive afterwards and thankful. I never want to burn bridges with anybody, which is why I thanked the crew, still thank the podcast host for allowing me the opportunity to come on. I know some people are also asking, why didn't you tell him you were uncomfortable? Why didn't you tell him to take the video down? And I would encourage you to think about power dynamics and how those come into play when someone like me, who's already marginalized and harassed and made fun of on the internet, who has no platform, telling someone with millions of followers to take a video down. And mind I tell you, I did say that I was uncomfortable with the episode that we filmed, which is why I wanted to come back on again to kind of start anew. How many times have you been at your job and maybe your boss or manager has said something to you that you have not agreed with or not felt comfortable with, but you didn't feel like you could tell them directly, hey, don't do that again, please? Power dynamics are a real thing, especially when it comes to influential figures. I think the people who continue to fight against ableism, it means the world to me knowing that so many of you care so deeply about things like this and want to see an equal and inclusive world for all where nobody would find jokes about phobias of disabled people in our bodies appropriate or comedic, or something that should be platformed. And despite the comments on Reddit being made about me in an ableist way, despite the DMs and messages that I'm getting and comments on these videos, I encourage you to move with kindness in response to them, because there's not going to be any good done by fighting fire with fire. I love you guys. Keep going.
And honestly, Aubrey, I literally couldn't have said it better myself. There are numerous different things that have taken place in my own life that I look back on and think to myself, I wish I had.
He was invited on the show so that they could challenge someone who's able. Yeah, I know. I saw the H3 response. Like, it's just, she's not really addressing any of that. I'm just watching a fucking circle jerk here.
Warning.
Okay. Plenty of plausible deniability about the clout chasing. Yeah, well, if you're gonna do this thing, I'm not gonna mention this person, but everyone knows who it's about. It's like, what's the point? Yeah.
Had no part in that. However, when Ethan Klein responded to this finally on the podcast on their comeback show, Ethan Klein's receipts of how it was all okay and he was definitely on board with everything was showing extremely heavily edited clips of the podcast show itself that Aubrey was on, as well as numerous different direct messages, emails, and correspondence between the H3 show producers and Aubrey prior to him coming onto the show. Again, the show where Aubrey shows up and it is the guests, Jimmy Lee and Ethan Klein's father, who are surprised by Aubrey's attendance.
And I thought this was gonna be an educational little moment, but I was coming on to be a bit. They essentially had, leading up to my appearance, a whole compilation.
That's an outright malicious lie. That's provable. I don't know why he's doing this. It's disgusting, especially considering like his whole point is like activism. And I feel like it was actually like a wholesome, good moment. And I mean, in terms of like teaching people about like a prejudice against little people, that was, you know, and to imply that that wasn't the intention and that it was to bring him on and humiliate him or something is just a malicious outright lie that I will prove to you. But I'm going to continue watching his video and then I'll show you everything we've got.
Of this guy, all the times that he said publicly on the internet that he's afraid of little people and just a lot of derogatory jokes about little people. And then they were like, and drum roll, we have a little person to surprise you. And they brought me in with basically no warning.
Why?
I mean, no warning.
Why would you say that?
That's crazy.
When it's so... There's so many receipts, dude. Like, what are you doing?
You guys don't
This
remember?
is so embarrassing.
You don't remember us dragging him in?
What does he mean, no warning? Like,
I don't know.
like we had him blindfolded and we walked him in?
The warning existed. It was in writing.
We're going to show you guys. You're going to laugh when you see all this.
What are you doing?
The part that pisses me off, though, is like, it's such a transparent attempt to cash in on all the people that hate me on TikTok. Like, it's so fucking transparent, bro, that it's pathetic. It's honestly pathetic. And so, you know, what I said at the time when I made a story about this is like, this shit, you know, this shit's not paying out anymore. I'm not gonna sit here and let you lie about me. Like, fuck you, dude. Let's get to the receipts, you guys. All right. Here's the original post. Let's go through this. Of him saying he wanted to call in. Let's take a look. Ethan, I'm an actor with dwarfism. I'm currently making a documentary comedy special about disability hate group on YouTube that's been cyberbullying me for over a year. I would love to call in tomorrow during the Tippy Toes segment and chat about Jimmy's little people phobia and dwarfism representation. The context, by the way, was that we were talking about how fucked up of a movie Tiptoes is. Aubrey Smalls volunteered to spend a day with Jimmy and change his mind about the dwarfism community. Maybe I can even get him to donate to our movie that has multiple dwarves in it. Thank you for sharing this. Isn't it amazing the impact representation can have on people's lives, outlooks, and how they treat others? Many people I meet admit they have zero knowledge on people with dwarfism, and that's not their fault. Over 100,000 people are born with dwarfism every year. To average height people... to average height people, but all we have is what? Munchkins, Oompa Loompas, Peter Dinklage in Game of Thrones. I'm trying to give people more reference when they think of little people in Hollywood. Since Hollywood is still putting us in the Dwarf Villager 1 category, I decided to write our own movie while telling a true story about my experience with online harassment due to my dwarfism. I, Aubrey Smalls, volunteer. But okay, fair enough. Saw your post about potentially calling into the podcast during the Tiptoe stream to discuss dwarfism representation in Jimmy Lee. Now, unfortunately, the Tiptoes live stream didn't exactly pan out as expected, but we wanted to reach out for another option. Tomorrow, we're filming an episode with Ethan's dad and Jimmy Lee in an old couple sort of situation, and we'll need to confront Jimmy again. Notice the word confront, about his problematic jokes to see if we can get through. It's cut off there, but I'm assuming to him.
Yeah.
The clips we want to ask him about is the dwarfism jokes from the previous appearance of his. We tell him specifically what we're...
Super specific about what we were doing. Totally transparent.
Like Jimmy had sense
fully aware.
I forget what he said, but it was something really super offensive to little people. We had talked about it. We had acknowledged it. And we had told him specifically what it was. Now, what we wanted to ask, would you be interested in calling in to discuss with him why his joke might be offensive? We'll totally be there to back you up during the conversation because he has to chill out a bit. Haha. If you're not comfortable with this, we totally understand. Another option would be just send in a video message and we can play it for him during the recording. Would you be interested in either of those options? We're taping tomorrow around 12 p.m. Let me know. Thanks so much for reading and looking forward to hearing from you. So again, we gave him not only the option, we told him exactly what was going to happen.
Yeah.
He was going to come in, he was going to confront Jimmy Lee on this specific joke.
That there would be a compilation of his previous jokes and then that we would confront him about it, which is exactly what he cited as being like, you know, him not being in the loop.
We blindsided
him. That we blindsided him.
He responds, "Hi, hope you're doing well. Thanks for response. I'd be totally down to call into the chat with them, and I'm available tomorrow at 12 p.m. PST. Perfect. Thank you so much. I will shoot you an email tomorrow around 11, and we can set up a Zoom test, and then we'll be looking forward to chatting on the show. Thanks, Aubrey. Talk soon. Sounds great." After the show, Dan sent him a thank you.
After the recording. Hadn't aired yet. Keep in mind, this was just we
was not
recorded
live.
it. This was
in
not
the
live.
tank.
Yep.
Hi, Aubrey. Thank you for calling in. That got a little spicy, and we appreciate you trying your best to educate and inform using the platform. Not sure how it will resonate with Jimmy's long term, but we definitely going to debrief with him and talk it out. Hopefully it wasn't too much for you. They're more resistant than expected. We will keep you posted on when it will come out. Thanks again, and let me know if you have any questions. Aubrey said, "Thanks for having me. Such an honor to chat, even though I know things got awkward for everybody. I would honestly love to chat about calling back in to talk about what the Reddit post was actually about. I was really inspired by the outpouring of support from fellow H3 listeners who are rooting for a positive discussion on dwarfism, the dwarfism representation outside of Jimmy's comments. I'm usually not so serious, and neither is the project I'm making. It's more surrealistic, artistic, educational content than anything. Haha. I know we didn't have a chance to do that today, but I've seen the positive impact H3 has had in the YouTube atmosphere, and I would love to chat about the chance to push the ball forward for the community I know and love. Plus, Ethan the other night said, disabled people are heroes, and I agree. There are so many iconic people with dwarfism out there that your listeners seem to be down to talk more about. So I wanted to see what your thoughts were on this. Let me know what you think." He seems to like me.
Yeah. Yeah.
He seems to respect me at this time. For he's, interesting. Now I'm crashing out. He's getting his revenge on me because I'm crashing out. We would love to have you call back in. We are editing the episode together for next week as we have a guest tomorrow, so it'll likely be out next Friday. And then once it's out, we would love to debrief and talk more about your post and project. Once our editor finalizes it and we lock in the date, I'll be sure to let you know ASAP. You're the best. Talk soon. Hi, Aubrey. I know it's a bit last minute, but is there any chance you'd be available to call in today? We're currently live and would love to hear from you. I would love to. I'm watching now. Oh, he sounds like a big fan.
Uh-huh.
Thank you guys for making it happen and being so cool. You guys rock. Please let everyone know how thankful I am, he said after the show. Dan said, appreciate you, Aubrey. So does our audience. They were so thrilled with your call. That was great, and we're all thankful for the insight you provided. Best wishes and good luck on your project. That sounds like a horrible fucking experience you had.
Yeah, awful, huh?
We abused him, man.
Completely blindsided. We made it, and what a joke we made out of him.
Me and my team were actually able to find the original clip, and even one of the producers of the H3H3 podcast show stated that they really had to heavily edit and splice it so that the content itself was even usable, kind of lending some validity to Aubrey's version of events, that it is a heavily edited piece of production.
I hate fucking midgets, man. I don't want anybody sniffing around my fly unless they're serious.
Jeez.
I need to confront you on something, okay?
I know which one it was.
Which one?
I don't like midgets, Ethan.
Oh,
I can't
stop
hide
it.
my feelings. Don't get mad. I just never liked them.
The word midgets is very
It's not even like funny. It's just fucking cringe. All right.
offensive, okay? We don't use that word anymore.
I thought it was a pretty good joke. Jolly Roger liked it. Pretty funny. It's just an old style joke. That's really what it was.
What'd you think of that, Gary?
All right, so we planned an intervention for the whole
God, Ethan, you look
midget
different.
thing.
The fuck?
And I was expecting my dad, to kind of ride for the social issue. He thought that was a highlight reel. He's clapping, so just brace yourself, guys. Go easy on my dad, please.
Some classic offensive humor. I think it's very clever and very smart, because if you're going to go after a minority group, who is less
He's a
apt to
twink
hurt
now.
you than midgets or little people, right? You
What can they
make
do to
fun
me?
of other groups. They have big, serious, threatening people, not midgets. What are they going to do? Come up and kick you in the knee or something? That's
Okay, I'm really glad you said that, Gary, because we actually.
Okay, so clearly he failed. He failed.
I still don't really understand the concept of the H3 podcast, like the way that they do it. It's just. Like, if I had to describe it as a genre, I don't really know what I would call it. Commentary, drama. It's a very odd thing to me. All right.
The test.
A variety show. Okay.
But actually, the worst part is, guys.
Isn't that just cheating, though? Isn't it just cheating to call it a variety show? Like, it doesn't feel like I'm watching a podcast. But okay, whatever.
What comes next? And boy, just notice their face. I mean,
And in the role of a lifetime, Gary.
All right, I'm just gonna play it. Everybody, tighten your sphincter.
Actually have a little person on the call. They've been listening. And so Dan is going to bring them in right now, and we can sort of open a dialogue here.
Howard Stern, but less evil.
So this is Aubrey.
so far so good.
Gary.
Hello, Aubrey.
Hi, Gary.
How you doing?
How you doing, kid?
Yeah, love you.
Oh, well, thank you.
Even though you think I would come up and kick you in the shins.
Well, I have pretty low shins too, so.
And you guys are both pretty short, so I wouldn't really be coming after our community.
Ooh. We knew we wanted to get him on the show. This is him, legend. And this is what we did, and I'm so sorry. To him, of course.
Am I still watching the same video? How much of this content has she used? What the fuck?
Yeah, damn.
Well, let's see. Does he break through? Let's see.
Jimmy, the comments that you made, you weren't really serious. Like you don't actually dislike little people, right?
This is an act. It's
Exactly,
an act.
exactly.
And I'm a loving, big-hearted, nice guy that does a
Bro,
comment.
this video is gonna get fucking IDF precision strike. We're gonna see Daniel Hagari on TV tomorrow saying, "Today we uncovered a terror video. It used so much copyrighted content without transformation that we were compelled to defend ourselves with a surgical strike." We're gonna. Oh no, it's gonna be brutal. Yes, 40 civilians died, but it was necessary collateral damage. Oh God.
Maniac, and I don't mean anything I say. No, it's just intended to laugh at ourselves, Aubrey. That's all it is.
Right. No, yeah, I am.
I love how
trust me, I grew up-
I love how Jimmy's thing is always, we got to laugh at ourselves. It's like, who's ourselves? You're consistently slamming other people only.
I've been performing since in
Always
the
up a hill.
entertainment industry
Have to
in
kill
the
the tiger
circus
up
since
a
I was
hill.
4. Now I do stand-up comedy. Trust me, I was not offended, and I think I could tell it wasn't really a serious comment to begin
No.
with. Do you actually know any people with dwarfism?
I have patience.
Okay, who are little people?
And I didn't do that joke on them, Aubrey, in the office, by the way.
Oh, I know, Jim.
He's dead.
Because I'm a dentist in the office, not the comedian.
You do come from a very different generation where there was very different representations, obviously, of little people. Even medically speaking, doctors used to still use the word midget, even though there's no such thing as a midget. We are people with dwarfism, and there's hundreds of types of dwarfism. So my only question was just if you do know little people and you're not really scared of them, but do you see how maybe that would have like real world implications for a group that has no representation,
I
that is
understand.
ever shown in a sexual or violent manner? Like, so I'm saying, even just as a comedian, I really just don't think that's the lane you want to go down.
Okay, I got you.
Do you see how it's nothing about if I find it offensive?
I understand.
I don't think you're that person, but as someone who's literally making a movie right now about how YouTube allows people to follow us around who sometimes are minors and go around calling us all of these names, but that aren't even names that are reflective of a medical condition, literally just a slur. Like, I just figure that you are someone who doesn't actually hate little people.
I don't hate anybody. And Zach's been telling me to quit for years. I may have to take his advice.
I don't think you should quit, but I definitely think you should realize that comedy can be sustained without literally using someone else as a punching bag.
I
And I
got
think,
you.
what do you feel? You can be honest, Jimmy.
No, I have plenty of other jokes. I don't have to use the midget joke.
Everyone can be joked about. I just think it's the offhandedness and the fact that you're just quick to move on to another joke where I get followed in stores and I have someone online literally who's been stalking and threatening and harassing me just because I have dwarfism. He calls it Midget Wednesday. And I just don't think you would want to be associated with that.
No, I
where
don't. I'm going to let that one go.
Jimmy, this is an iconic conversation then, you realize.
Well, I'm not ever going to do a little people joke again. We're going to knock that off the dock. We're letting it go after listening to you.
We appreciate, your perspective, Aubrey. It's been very informative and enlightening, and I hope it's resonating.
I feel like this show went about as well as you could possibly expect. What the fuck?
Like, I love talking and arguing. It's, if I ever came across a certain way, please don't think you are not offensive in the way that you talk about little people that I hear every single day. So it's not about being offended at all.
It wasn't
and Gary, I'm like
harmful intended. I just do comedy.
I love it. And again, I'm a comedian, guys. You don't know my humor too. So you don't know I could be just as, but
You can
no,
make fun of a Jew. I'm right here. Just don't shoot me.
we don't need to make fun of anybody.
Two Jews in planning a fire.
Two Jews walk into a bar.
There's lots of other content out there. And that's what I would just like to say as my final.
Well, thank you. Thanks.
Thank you, Aubrey.
Ethan's getting trashed for this. Yep. Yep. Can't you tell?
Please look up DearAverageHypePeople.com, making a documentary comedy special about that disability hate group because YouTube just doesn't care enough to protect small creators. So it's DearAverageHypePeople.com,
Fuck you.
and we're raising money
Fuck
right now
off,
to finish the film. Jimmy,
dick.
you would love this. It's a comedy special, Jimmy. We're making fun of ourselves. We're making fun of everybody. The point is to bridge the gap between people like you and people like me.
I want to say one thing. Me and Gary are going to say it together. We love you. Say it.
Yeah, what he said.
Thank you, guys.
Aubrey,
Yes.
thank you.
Okay,
It was
Thank you so
great.
much, Aubrey.
Thank you.
So
Take
much,
care.
Aubrey.
Good luck.
Whoa, that went
Thank
better
you.
than I thought. I mean, Jimmy I think, okay, there was a lot of finessing.
There's a lot.
You actually finessed that to making it look like Jimmy learned a valuable lesson.
Yeah.
It was a bumpy conversation, I'll tell you what.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of back and forth. I had to cut a lot for the sake of brevity, but it'll be in the final cut there.
But that was nice. But ultimately, in the end, actually, there was some progress with Jimmy there swearing off little people.
So Ethan Klein didn't go out of his way to show
Oh, hello.
full context of
Welcome back. Is that the context that fucks up Ethan? What? God. Hello. It's been a minute. Hey, stranger. Okay.
Of the conversations and the original recording, which should have been able to squash any questions that people had about how this conversation really went down. So he gives us heavily edited video footage and correspondence between Aubrey and production where he is A-okay with everything. Not deterred by this whole situation, Aubrey then went forward to ask if he could go onto the podcast.
Fair Use is going to do some heavy lifting on that one. Yeah. Oh, yeah. What did I just watch?
To speak about what he wanted to speak about, which was his production that he was doing. I think it was some kind of comedy show with disabled individuals, and he had like a website called Dear Normal Hype People or something of that nature. So I guess even from that alone, that kind of gives me the feeling that Aubrey didn't feel like he got all that he needed to get out of that podcast segment. The H3 team allowed him to come on a second time. He was able to plug his show, and I guess he went on feeling a little bit more confident about the situation between himself and the H3 podcast. However, retrospectively, in 2024, 2025, Aubrey feels like he made the wrong decision, which, for goodness sake, he is entitled to. A decent human being would just turn around and go, oh shit, I really didn't realize I made you feel that way. I felt like I went above and beyond to try and make you feel comfortable, but I didn't. I fell short. How can I make this better? But no, not Ethan Klein. He's going to talk about it on his podcast, attack a member of a march.
Yeah, again, this person's entire fucking shtick is just like, if someone on our side says something, like makes an accusation, you have to just become beholden to them. You have to suck up to them. You have to fucking take directions from them, regardless of how accurate their assessments are or not. Oh, God. Yeah, if the person fucking lied, the person misrepresented the interaction. I wonder if... Stop saying fell short jokes, you guys. Come on. Fucking adults in the room. You guys who were like looking down your nose at me watching a fucking Billie Eilish video are suddenly like, fell short. It's gay. Gay. Like, fuck off.
Speak, friend. Be safe.
I see through you.
Strength and honor.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like Ethan's gonna come down hard on that one with the copyright striking. I think that video's gonna get the absolute shit DMCA'd out of it, but who knows?
Strength.
Looking down, shut up.
Marginalized group who has struggles of which Ethan will never ever be able to fathom, and then police them on how they should feel about their own presence. But don't forget, guys, Ethan is a good guy. But the interesting thing is that Ethan Klein has literally a patented history of referring to little people by terms that are either outdated or completely inappropriate. Like, this has been a running bit for Ethan on his show for quite some time. Like 1 year ago when he called Big Nick a troll, a demonic little troll and troll-like.
He's such a fucking hateful
Troll out.
And I don't say troll because of his stature. I don't joke about that. That's just not a fair thing to laugh about.
God.
I'd say that.
Damn,
like,
caught in the act.
In the sense of like a troll.
The small jokes were so much that Dan had to jump in and try and save his ass by saying, well, some trolls are big.
I mean, if you Google troll,
yeah,
and you go to a drawing
troll.
of
Yeah,
a classic
we like the
troll.
troll.
So, I mean, here you go. You know what I mean? Just a demonic little troll. And little...
Trolls are oftentimes depicted quite large in fantasy literature, such as stone trolls that Bilbo speaks to until daybreak comes, and then they are turned to stone by daylight.
That's right. They were big.
And that big motherfucker that broke into Hogwarts, he was a troll.
There it is.
Big motherfucker was broken to Hogwarts.
And just to clarify, I'm not talking about these trolls, which are very small in stature and quite strange looking.
Right.
These are not the trolls I'm talking about. when I call him a troll.
Right.
Then Ethan went on to call Big Nick another slur for a little person, consisting of the letters I, M, and P. Little trickster demon, short stacked imp goblin vibes, and little demon.
Oh no.
All right, well, that was Nick. Sorry, Taylor. Didn't mean to platform that. Imp.
Wait, who's the imp?
Have we done the
Which
imp thing with Big Nick already, or has
Who's
that,
Big
is that
Nick?
uncharted ground?
What?
I reckon.
IMP slur.
Before, but maybe something.
Ah!
No, but just that, like, I would call
Holy
him,
shit.
He's like imp-like, but not because of his size.
No, I don't need
Because
fucking
of
healing
his,
potions.
like,
Go away.
He's like a little trickster demon. But an imp demon.
I just know Dan's in the bathroom and I'm nervous.
Me too.
Here's what an imp looks like. They're like a little winged demon. And that's what he's like.
Those are cooler than him, though. Come on. Demons are cool, dude.
Imps are dope. Those are low-level demons in most MMORPGs.
Come back fast, Dan.
I was just saying.
Strength and honor.
Oh, I was just asking if we'd
I
done
was just
the
going-
Big Nick Imp Discord.
Short stacked.
What am I watching? I don't know what I'm
Big
watching.
Nick's that short
What
stack Imp Goblin
God.
vibes. All right, I'm out of this. Thank you,
Difficult.
Big Nick. We love you.
Oh, I see where we're going.
Then we have Ethan Klein making the same joke about, is Munchkin a slur? 4 times in the past 1.5 years. He
Yeah,
does
good
this
question.
on July 12, 2023, January 24, 2024, August 26, 2024, and November 15th, 2024.
Many people
Oh, it does it
say many.
automatically.
Did you say Munchkin?
It automatically deposited all the fucking pages. That's so cool. Nice one. Thank you. Okay, sorry.
That's more of like that's like a whimsical creature from Wizard of Oz.
Munchkin isn't offensive?
Oh, I should probably get rid of.
Well, I
mine
guess
and stuff.
calling a little person a munchkin would be offensive, but I'm saying like just change it to be about a Wizard of Oz munchkin.
People are saying mini matzo. That's not
Yeah.
bad. Mini matzo.
Yeah, but he's
There it is.
considered a munchkin. He's coined a munchkin.
Oh.
I don't know. I don't know the politics in Oz. I don't
Is
know.
munchkin a derogatory word?
Written in Wicked, it is a part of that world. I
Yeah, in
don't
the
know about
context
this
of
world.
Wizard, I think if you call a little person a munchkin, they'd probably be upset.
I
but
think so too. Probably.
Munchkins are like it's like Hobbit and Lord of the Rings. You know what I mean? They're like mice in Oz.
So is the word munchkin from Wizard of Oz, or does it predate Wizard of Oz?
You know, I don't know.
Because if it predates it, then it's derogatory in
Let's
Wizard
see,
of Oz.
munchkin etymology.
They use that term munchkin for food, donuts, or there's munchkin donuts. So does that gotta go away?
It's from the munchkins depicted as a race of small childlike creatures in
Chase, you can't just be in the waiting room every stream asking to come in on every single stream. You can't do that, okay? Come on, fuck. You've been on streams recently. If you should be a live streamer. If you want this much fucking if you're gonna do this much content, you should be a live streamer. Shit. No offense. Mooncat video. What? Why?
He sort of basically he laid out all of the problems with the case in Parliament, and I thought there might be a little bit more of a debate about it, but
She's just live right now.
there wasn't really.
Tate for PM.
Like
based.
somebody else came back at him
Giga based.
and basically just relayed the court proceedings and said that a jury had found her guilty.
They're just Jordan Peterson.
If it were me.
Oh yeah, we never actually watched JP
and Frank Baum's The Wonderful Wizard of Oz.
Yeah, he's good. That's pretty impressive by him.
I don't know why you posted that, but thank you. All right.
Munchkin?
Say that? Is that a bad word? Munchkin?
I don't know. I think you call him anything.
How would that be a bad word?
I don't
Correct
know.
me if I'm wrong, but a munchkin is a fantasy character. It is not an actual creature.
It's what. It's just. Hold on, I'm gonna look into this. What is a munch? Oh, there's a shopping thing called a munchkin, so it can't be that bad. Baby products and accessories. So what's
Yeah,
the
I buy a lot of their stuff. It's just a
Oh, you
brand.
do? Okay.
It's a brand.
I think I'm no expert, but a munchkin is not a slur.
Yeah, isn't it like a term of endearment or something?
What is
I
this
just thought it was like
fucking?
You little munchkin. No?
Okay, so it wouldn't be nice to call a little person a munchkin. Makes sense.
Okay,
But Jack Doherty,
yeah,
you
he's
can't
not
call him.
a
Is he not a little person?
He is very
No.
little.
He's a person.
But Your Honor.
But he is a person. But I don't think I don't think they would want him in the ranks of their community.
Is he a small man? He looks like a munchkin. Is he a small in stature guy?
Zach Ryan?
Yeah.
We're wondering what his height is.
Yeah, I usually there's a small man.
on Ethan's bid here.
Can we?
Oh, sorry.
Well,
I don't think
no,
so.
he's right. How old is he?
Okay.
Can we say Munchkin?
Oh shit.
Munchkin, yeah.
Yeah, you
But he's
can.
not. He
Yeah,
doesn't
sure,
have a
why not?
condition. He-
No, I'm making a joke.
Yeah.
But is he small in stature? I guess
I
that's
think you call like a
Oh,
dwarf.
okay. So he's not a small guy.
What's his height?
5'10".
5'10".
Yeah.
If you called a dwarf a munchkin, that would not be okay.
Yeah, that would not be okay at all.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
it's
Munchkins are-
just
yeah.
little people. Yeah, good stuff.
We love little people here on the show. Nothing but respect.
Nothing but respect.
My team was also able to find another instance in April of 2022.
My team? Hey, you're just taking the most enormous fucking clips. Your team, you go to Filmot and just write in little people or midget or dwarf or munchkin or whatever, and then you just find the videos, and then you just paste the 20-minute clip. Like, your team. What the fuck are you doing? My team. What are you doing?
What are you looking for? Hello, man.
Mild spices. Soothing spices. 3. Thank you.
Later.
Get a moonsteel broadsword. Okay.
Where Ethan is speaking about two of the main people of selling.
Her team is just H3 Snark. I should do that. It sounds more professional, doesn't it? Look what me and my team uncovered. And it's just a bunch of clips from the DGG subreddit of Hassan. Like,
Sunset, which is a show about like real estate in LA and all that. Anyway, the two guys who run the estate agent business are shorter men, to which Ethan Klein regards them as two little munchkins.
The two owners of the
4
brokerage are
gold
these
for some
little
free XP.
munchkins, and they're so creepy.
Sure, why not?
They only hire like young, beautiful
I'm
women.
never getting my fucking mount, though. Whatever.
And then they date them, and they're the two little munchkin popsicle kids, and they're just
The
so
lollipop gang? Is
disgusting
that
and
what you're
creepy. And so like I like that it was centered around that, but the new season is just fucking awful. I can't watch it.
Now, since this whole situation took place and Aubrey has given his thoughts and feelings
Wait,
on attending.
if anyone knows what they're talking about here, what's the quick way into the Cleft of Shadow? Because right now, the only way I know is you go here, then you go round, you go down. Is there no quicker way? Is there a quicker way that you go through the bridge and the flight path? There must be. I'm going to go up and I'm going to explore. I'm going to find a way. It looks like there's a way. It's trying to tell me there's a way. Is it up this fucking tower? Right. Then where? Is there a bridge? Jump. Shut the fuck up. I go bridge. This bridge. This bridge is going to take me there, okay? I believe it. Go to the Munchkin gate. Shut up. Cleft of Shadow. Oh! Okay. Is that it? It's still slightly long way, but it's getting me. Okay. And then I just go down. Ooh. Whoa! This way. You've never been to Orgrimmar. I have. I just don't know the way. I've been taking the long way around several times. Okay. We got it, though. We figured it out. All right, content.
The H3 podcast and how he retrospectively feels about it. Aubrey has been brigaded across all of his social media. He has received 2 strikes on his TikTok channel, putting his TikTok monetization and channel at risk. Not saying that that is 100% attributed to H3H3, but the timing is very interesting.
This account is sadly at risk of getting banned at any moment. I randomly received 2 strikes and my other main account was hacked and is now permanently banned.
Oh, shit.
So if you wouldn't mind just taking a second to follow me on YouTube, I just started posting again on that channel and I'm hoping to get 10.
I need to start weaponizing all the fucking hate I get online. I feel like I don't get enough. I don't milk nearly enough. I don't milk nearly enough fucking sympathy dough as these guys seem to. I swear, I just your account got hacked. I don't know. It just feels. I just think it's made up. I don't know. And saying you've just got all this hate and people attacking me and coming from my channel. Like, bro, every fucking day. You have no idea. Only this is without an entire fucking ecosystem of internet fucking mobsters on your side. Bro, the only people on my side are those stupid IDF intel operatives who can't even speak English, okay? I shouldn't have said that. Don't worry. Whoa! Whoa! All right. Wait, how do I... Oh, it's this way. Wait, what's this way? What's up here? Oh, this is the way I came. Nothing. No big deal. My team.
10,000 subscribers by the end of this month. And I'm also on Instagram at Aubrey Smalls, and I would love to get in touch with you guys there. So sorry to see this account go. I've had so much fun on Dwarfism history, but hopefully we'll see you guys soon on some of those other platforms.
And a person on the H3 podcast subreddit literally like soft doxed Aubrey. And considering Aubrey's whole...
What is a soft docs? What? What happened there? I should look at that tab. What do you mean by soft docs?
What are you looking for?
They're straight up doxing Aubrey. Holy shit, from the H3 Snark. Her team is H3 Snark. That's it. Looking to rent a room. Resharing something that's already been... Yeah, this is... Oh, okay, whatever. Jesus.
Literally like soft doxed Aubrey. And considering Aubrey's whole reason for going onto the podcast was to shed light on a situation that was extremely important to him, how little people have been disregarded in society, and how there is like a group of people who harass little people on YouTube, only for Ethan in 2000.
You just doxed them. Oh yeah, I guess I did by showing that video of her soft doxing. Huh. Didn't even retract anything either, did she? She just published the entire, not only the link, but where to go and find it on H3 Snark. Okay. Uh-oh.
2025
It's probably
to
not how
come
you're supposed to do
through
that.
and do it again. Now, granted, that post on the H3 subreddit was taken down by moderators. However, Ethan Klein can't deploy the "oh, my audience don't attack people," because yes, they do. It is a patented history. We have seen this for years and years on end. It's actually one of the biggest reasons that I fucking dislike you, because you literally never, ever go out of your way to just tell your audience, hey, don't do it, stop. If anything, you've just exasperated the situation. So with Aubrey's feelings of how things went on the show, the limited and highly...
I feel like I'm getting deja vu of people saying exasperated when they're supposed to say exacerbated. I don't know, that keeps happening. I've seen that written down as well. People say exasperated when they mean exacerbated. It's like a common occurrence now. Does Hassan ever tell the community to shut the fuck up and stop being mental? No, and what he does is whenever he's talking to people who are like slightly important, he just puts his chat onto emotes only because he's terrified of them ruining his normie image. It's just like I'm just watching bullies. I'm just watching people with the brains of bullies. Highly rewarded bullies. Quite impressive. Kind of cringe. Play the slop. Yes, ma'am.
The edited receipts it is that Ethan Klein has produced to the audience, and the patented history of Ethan Klein using some really nasty slurs about little people, so much so that it's turned into a running gag and a bit on the show.
Oh man, on Ethan's bit here.
Can we?
Oh, sorry.
I don't think it's weird for Aubrey to have felt that he was used in that particular situation, retrospectively. But Audrey was not... Have I been saying Audrey or Aubrey this whole time? If I've been saying Audrey, I'm really sorry, I meant Aubrey. However, Aubrey isn't the only person to have caught that Ethan Klein smoke on his comeback tour. Introducing a person that I deeply respect, Mika's Rhetoric.
Uh-oh. Oh, God. I'm sorry, can I watch this again? Because this is going to be her watching the H3 react. Can I do this? Do I need this in my life? Is this going to carry me until level 40? Surely. Where's my tom-tom? All right.
Is slightly different because Mika's Rhetoric didn't actually release anything whilst Ethan Klein was on hiatus. She made her video sometime before the break. However, Nicholas DiOrio came across it and popularized the content. In a video titled, Ethan Klein Gets Exposed by Crazy Woman She Fears for Her Life. In this video, Nicholas DiOrio basically watches Mika's Rhetoric's video and fundamentally dislikes the content, not just the subject matter and material, but just the overall production of how Mika does her.
You're right. This zone is an absolute death trap. You respect that person. Fuck me. I've never seen someone take so long to say absolutely nothing. And every time she got to a point of substance, it was a fucking lie. She just lied. She lied multiple times. She lied about my interaction with Ethan. Like, what are you looking for? Fuck. She lied about Destiny's interaction with Finkelstein. What did she say about Ethan again? Strength, agility. Agility, stamina. No, I'm keeping the stamina. Thank you, bub. Watch out for crocs and spiders. Oh, I'll look out. I don't think I need a lot of these things. Oh, I don't need that. I don't need that. I don't need that. I don't need that. What, do I have dynamites? Really? I didn't know I had dynamites. Shit. She just recommended that stupid essay about settler colonialism without even elaborating on why it was like not even describing the source material. It's so lazy. She said that Ela called Ramallah a terrorist city. Yeah, she didn't really do that. I think Ethan didn't know exactly what state was being spoken about. He said you went to some terror city or whatever. As long as you have flash powder, you can't die unless it's on cooldown. But she was nuanced, right? She said she was nuanced, so that's what matters, isn't it?
Her videos.
Teacher, by the way. Do you think people like that Mika person, do you think when they're in class every now and then, they're like, it's not my job to educate. Wait. Fuck. Never mind. Do you think that happens every now and then? One of the students is being annoying. Protesting.
Going over a Ethan Klein exposed video that is about 70,000 views from a smaller T-channel content creator. Now, this person knows who I am. I don't remember who they are. I guess we've had some interaction in the past. It's something that's come up. You probably saw it in the intro clip. The reason why we're looking at this today is because it's a brutal video. Typical T-channel fashion, it's mostly just a conversation that doesn't have supplemental clips. It gives the person an opportunity to lie, and they do that a lot in this video. The choices in argumentation are horrendous, and probably the most obnoxious part is the entire video is cased in, oh, I'm afraid. Ethan Klein's community is so brutal, guys. I don't know if I'm going to have a career tomorrow. I don't know if I'm going to get doxxed. And it's one of the most disgusting, degenerate ways to shield yourself from criticism, to just come out here and make these broad claims that you're in danger because you're—
Wait, this quest is fucking horrible. I remember the first time I did this quest, it took me so long to find these fucking hoof prints. There we go. Jesus. Click on the plank. Which plank? The fireplace. I remember this one was doable. There we go. Okay.
You're talking about, like, I mean, if you don't want to talk about drama, don't talk about drama. It's absolutely pathetic to open a video like that. I have no respect for people who do this.
What I will say is, whilst
This is Nick DeOrio's. Okay. I know Nick DeOrio exists. I just don't know anything about him, really. So that's his voice. Okay, gotcha. He sounds like if you asked AI to produce a commentary YouTuber, it would have that voice. He's very quintessential commentary communicator voice.
Understand the lack of structure to Mika's videos can be a little bit annoying to people who like structure. As you can tell, I'm a girl who likes structure. Mika's videos are more like podcasts. They are intended to be listened to and raw and honest, almost as if you're speaking to your ADHD.
It's not honest though. She fucking lied, you fucking liar. You're lying for her by saying it's honest. Maybe it's intended to be honest, but it's not because she fucking lied. Unless you're calling her inept.
Friend who can't stay on topic but will always get to the point eventually. Now, that style of content may not be for everybody, but I just kind of don't like the idea that people are like, it's bad content. No, it's just not content that you jive with. Now, one of the biggest issues it is that Nicholas Diorio pointed out in Mika's Rhetoric's video is that she has a lot of disclaimers before she starts a video. Now, I can 100% understand why that might be annoying to some. However, this time she was speaking about having an uncomfortable feeling about making this video, even though she wanted to make the video, because of the harassment it is that she faced at the hands of H3 fans when she made a video about Ethan Klein a long time ago.
I have a pretty intense anxiety disorder, and the only time I've contemplated quitting the internet with like certainty was in reference to discussing Ethan Klein before, and I was treated in a way that maybe allegedly in Minecraft could be considered harassment, because they were making an account where they were dedicated to like saying all this stuff about me and how evil I am, and then they were DMing people that I'd worked with on other videos that I was just
Yes, chat. Congratulate me. We just leveled level 38. I'll be accepting all your congratulations right now. Let them roll in. Take a minute. That use of the Minecraft term was very inaccurate. I'm not supposed to talk to this guy. All right. Let's go. Holy fuck. She's still going. How long is this video I'm watching? Oh god, this is going to be like... Okay, I wonder if she takes clips this long from people she likes. Maybe?
horrible, evil, morally corrupt individual, and all this stuff. When we talk about the inception of the podcast, it was not responded to well for a long time. And this has been discussed by many different videos at length, including...
No!
So I was watching... I always know that I'm right when I have the opposite opinion of Nicholas Diorio, because...
Now, anybody who has encountered HD fans knows that they are rabid dogs. CC in Adam McIntyre, I'm sure he'll tell you. And Ethan Klein at no point does anything to discourage this behavior. So
I refuse to believe that if you've been in this space for more than 10 seconds, that you don't understand how fucking stupid you sound when you're like, yeah, this community that I'm fighting with, they're so toxic. Meanwhile, I can't really ever speak to anything that comes from the end that agrees with me. Isn't that a coincidence? Yeah, if you fight with a community and they'll come to attack you, they're going to feel like the most rabid community. Yeah. The guys on your side, you're not going to see it. That's why there are people who are genuinely shocked sometimes to learn for the first time that Hassan has a toxic community. Because when you're not against them, you're not going to notice. You're not going to see those worst excesses unless you actually look for them. That's normal. It's normal to think that. But given the fact that that fucking do not worry shithead had to grab a list of like 20 comments underneath this Mika's video and found maybe 3 or 4 that were body shaming, even though she got attacked by like 7 different communities, and he attributed it all to H3, and the rest of them were just people saying she was dumb or made a bad video. Probably suggests that I don't think the H3 community is anywhere near as toxic as the anti-H3 group. Like, probably because Ethan doesn't elevate people who are toxic. Ethan doesn't elevate people who do doxing and like harassment campaigns and who support terrorism. So it's probably... What? Where's this fucking ogre? I forgot to... Oh shit, I wasn't doing the quest properly. Whoops. Help! Help him! I will save you. I will protect. I forgot what I was doing. I'm so sorry.
So shortly before Ethan Klein's return, during this hiatus, he took to Instagram once again to talk about another content creator who made a critical video about him. Wah, wah, people don't agree with me, wah, wah. He's literally a 40-year-old baby.
See, this is why, like, if you respond to someone criticizing you, it's wah, 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 wah. But if she does it, if she makes a video about Ethan, it's not wah, wah. Like, why? Why? It doesn't make any... It's such a stupid fucking... What do you call that? When someone, like... It's only okay when we do it. And everything... So if you defend yourself, you're, like, a crybaby. Then, but if we talk about you, we're not crybabies? Like, why? Crybully, hypocrite, dumb fuck, lacking in the most basic logic. Okay, whatever.
This is what it is that Ethan Klein had to say. Another dummy taking a ticket and getting in line. Lots to talk about when we return. LOL. Now, as you can imagine, the moment that Ethan Klein said that he was going to be speaking about a particular content creator, posted the content creator's channel, a lot of H3 fans, even before Ethan Klein had live streamed, literally zeroed in on the Ethan Klein video and went over there to attack Mika's rhetoric. And a lot of the attacks on Mika's rhetoric was against her physical appearance, to which I personally believe, this is Paige Christie speaking over here, I personally believe that the H3 team were aware of. There were literally people on the H3 subreddit putting her face on the body of Ursula, and when a fan turned around and said, hey, it's not cool to make fun of people's appearances, other members of the H3 fandom were like, shut up, cry more. Now those screenshots that I just showed you were screenshots that I personally took on my phone whilst the podcast was live. And whilst the podcast was live, the H3 production team were posting various different memes that were entered into the subreddit. The H3 production team specifically, Dan. However, there are several team members who have direct moderation access to the H3 subreddit. So their lack of prompt to remove disparaging content about Mika's rhetoric's looks, whilst in tandem showing live the memes it is that they approve of, honestly just sparks negligence to me.
I should really... I'll usually show sources to these people when I'm arguing about just like anytime these guys ever go into the politics or anything serious. But I wonder if I should just start screen grabbing all the H3 Snark, Hassan, whatever dipshits who talk about how fucking punchable I am or making like jokes about my ethnicity and shit like that. Like, oh yeah, self-hating Arab, fucking you're a Christian Lebanese. That means you're probably like a massacring fucking Maronite murderer. Like, yeah, I wonder. Grabbing all that together and actually being like, look, this is actually what this toxicity looks like, not people saying you're an idiot, you made a bad video. Like, yeah. I should get my team to compile it. I should get Jotun, the guy who screenshots all the chatters. Okay. Whatever, bro. My team. My squad.
Goku Naru.
Oh, no.
Jake Doolittle. And Aubrey.
Yeah.
All in your room. I feel like I'm dogs with Gok now. Me and Gok are dogs.
Even some hours after the podcast, these pictures were still available on the H3 subreddit. Which again, Ethan, Dan, AB, at the very minimum, all have access to and moderation roles. Now again, Mika's video was definitely politically geared and very much spoke about the H3 cast members almost as if they are archetypes of their minority groups, which was not something that I personally am down with. And there is more than valid criticism and debate for Ethan Klein to have there. However, for the most part, he just spoke about her looks, then walked back those comments, called her dumb, stupid, and that he hated her content. Whilst
I watched some of it, he didn't comment on her looks. Like, he called her a mouth breather. That's what they kept saying, mouth breather, but that's not her looks. Okay. I feel like this place might be where I die. Maybe I shouldn't be here.
Subjecting his fan to almost 40 minutes of her 47-minute video.
Like this dummy, Mika, who I had never heard about. I don't know who she is. She's a small commentary creator.
Yeah.
So her video, by the way, is called ironically, a nuanced conversation on H3 and public perception.
Oh,
sounds like a really thoughtful, analytical video.
I'm ready to watch that. That sounds interesting.
And if people think that I'm weak in that regard as well, I understand, honestly.
What?
And I also have like a
The thing is like she's hedging super fucking hard because even though she opened this video saying she's so terrified to make this video because of you, the reality is what she's actually afraid of is her fellow snarkers. Because they are the first ones that are going to turn on her and bite her fucking head off for not going hard enough or focusing on the right things or
running defense for E star.
Yeah, and she might not even realize it, but that is what you're doing. None of these disclaimers were in any way a prevention of, you know, our fans or your fans coming after her. She is deathly afraid of all the other idiots.
She should.
No, she's literally mouth breathing. I know that's the point. That's not a comment on her looks. I think Ethan right at the beginning said we're not going to make fun of her looks. Like he said there's nothing wrong with her looks. I banned like 3 people for talking about her looks. Like it's not. comments on her looks will be coming most likely from like the Chud Logic or maybe the I don't know much about Nick DeOrio, but it'll be coming from one of those communities. I don't even think they would deny that. He said she looked good. Yeah. Clay, thanks for the $1. Really appreciate it.
That she hangs out with.
Those people are fucking piranhas.
I guess you're right. You're right.
My mental health is very silly, but again, I just want to be honest, right? I have a pretty intense anxiety disorder.
Here we go with more fucking hedging. What the fuck? She's so scared. She has anxiety. Then get off the internet. If you have anxiety, just go off the internet.
Yes, this is not healthy.
You
for someone
didn't
with a
need to make
severe
this
anxiety
video.
Disorder. You should not be a YouTuber.
And
shut up. It's not my problem. I don't care. Okay, just say what you want. Holy fuck.
She gives like 50 reasons to not make this video and still fucking makes it. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's like a full terms of service.
That's actually what was on the paper.
Where's the fucking nameplates? Why? Why can't I see it? I'm so stupid. Raid frame? No. Oh, nameplates. I just want enemy nameplates. There we go. Enemy units. Thank you. God damn it. Huh.
Reasons why not to make this video.
Pros, cons.
Yeah.
The pros probably are pretty heavy,
Pros,
though.
views.
Yeah, views and subs.
Somebody said she's point phobic. Get to it.
True. Like that.
the only time I've contemplated quitting the
Talk to
internet
Stinky.
with like
He's not here.
certainty was in reference to discussing Ethan Klein before.
I have no idea who you are.
And-
Apparently, her talking about me made her want to quit the internet. I've never heard of you. I don't know anything about you. I've never talked about you. If it made you want to quit,
Isn't mouth breather calling them fat? No. No. No.
quit the internet, maybe your intuition was right.
And I was treated in a way that maybe allegedly in Minecraft could be considered harassment. Because
what does she mean by that? Maybe allegedly in Minecraft harassment? Because she doesn't want to openly say she got hit by harassment? Like, it's just harassment. Like, you could say you got harassed. It's not like a fucking legal charge. Ugh. Man, fuck's sake. I want this person to have access to my social media for a week on fucking YouTube. I want her to read my fucking Twitter replies and my emails, my comment section. Deal with my chat. Fucking hell. Where's the guy? He's doing another thing. Okay. Anxious box. I'm a little bit anxious sometimes. But usually I just stop and think, well, this is better than this is better than working in a shop, so yeah, I'll do it. And it's better than most of the stuff I had to do when I was doing music work. Like, so yeah, fuck. Can you start taking Vyvanse so you're bored by drama content? Well, problem is that the circulation in my toes is a little bit fucked right now. So I think I need to stop taking Vyvanse. And it's the dosage right now is like I've built a tolerance to it, so it's not really affecting me in the same way it used to. So I guess that's just not an option for me anymore. I took it today, but I'm gonna have to stop once I've run out of these ones because they're kind of fucking me up. What music work did you do? I did teaching, performance, and production, mainly. Occasionally wrote my own stuff as well and produced.
Who?
Did you teach piano? Yeah, but I only taught piano at like a pretty beginner level because I'm not a very good piano player. Mostly taught classical guitar. That was my specialty. Anyway.
Not even our fans, probably. By fucking people that hate me.
because they were making an account where they were dedicated to like saying all this stuff about me and how evil I am. And then they were DMing people that I'd worked with on other videos that I was this horrible, evil, morally corrupt individual.
That's crazy.
And all this stuff.
I think she's lying. I'll say it. I think she's straight up lying about that. I don't fucking believe a thing she says. Not that it matters because I didn't.
Do you have music out there? I have songs that I've played on that are out there, things I've produced, but are not mine. Yeah, I do have that. But you're gonna have to find that yourself. You're gonna have to go and find my docs and then find all that shit. Some of it's a bit embarrassing. There were a few projects I was part of that I was not really that keen on looking back, but it was fun at the time, I guess. You get your team to investigate. There is one tune that I produced that has like over 10 million views on YouTube. So if you find that one, well done to you. It was a difficult job as well. Really? Yeah. But you can find that. Actually, what does it have now? It's got 15 million views. Holy shit. Strong. Why not tell us the name? I just don't want to show you guys. Fuck off. Or I don't want to make a big thing about it. Do you have a personal attachment to anything you've made, or is it just a job? I've got personal attachments to some of my own songs, yeah. And there was a bunch of songs that I wrote with an ex around the COVID period that I thought were pretty cute. Hum the melody. Nope. Not with the not with the technology they have these days.
Do any of that. I didn't even know you exist, lady.
Yeah, I don't know. Oh shit, there he is.
Give me another 1,000 reasons why you're so scared to make this video. Jesus.
Now, in this comeback podcast, Ethan Klein stated that anybody who says anything about him, they're gonna catch all the smoke. That he's not letting things lie or rest anymore. He's attacking it head on. And that any content creator, no matter how big or how small, was gonna get it.
All of these motherfuckers who want to come and talk.
Where's the clip of Ethan making fun of her looks? Why make the claim and not show it? Oh, because she's a liar. These people are all liars. They're all... She's not afraid of using 20 minutes of clip footage, right? Unedited. If she hasn't shown you him making fun of her looks, it's because she lied. He actually specifically said, don't comment on her looks. Like, there's nothing wrong with her looks at the beginning of the video. I remember. Like, he didn't do that. He made fun of the mouth breathing, and she's just leaving it up to your imagination to... Yeah, she's a liar. They're all liars.
Fuck shit. Listen, if you're gonna talk shit about me, I have a policy. This goes for everybody. I don't give a fuck how small of a creator you are. If you talk shit, you're fair game.
So that kind of led me to the question of, why are we focusing on Aubrey Smalls and Mika's rhetoric and their very inconsequential videos that I honestly don't believe has actually harmed the perception of Ethan Klein and his H3 podcast show at all, due to these people's limited amount of impact? Because again, had Nicholas Diorio not found this video and decided to speak about it on his platform, it would never have amplified Mika's Rhetoric's video. Mika's Rhetoric's subsequent growth in subscribers as well as monetarily and views was purely based on the amplification of Nicholas Diorio and Ethan Klein. I mean, even Evangelina Skov, another content creator who has made Ethan Klein content,
if that's true, then what's the problem with responding?
Good day to you.
It's one of those videos that will be held up for quite a while as a litmus test. You know, like if you found this video convincing, like you are probably incredibly fucking stupid. Like, yeah. Like, you don't really need to know that much else about a person. Okay.
Has been vocal
It's
more
like a
recently
heuristic.
about Ethan Klein content not really doing well for her channel at all.
Nobody watches my videos about Ethan. I think I've made like 2, maybe. They're some of my worst performing.
Fix your fucking audio then. Why are you crunching like that? That's a decent mic. It's either an SM7B or something adjacent to it.
Videos, to be perfectly honest with you. And why am I here doing it again? He annoys me.
I feel like I'm one of the few people who can make an Ethan Klein video and it'll get hit. But that's because I'm not new to this, I'm true to this. I have been on this train of disliking Ethan Klein since day dot. I disliked Ethan Klein when my ancestors were building the pyramids, bitch. I have been disliking Ethan Klein since the plantation. I have been disliking Ethan ever since the stupid little beanie hat. I've been consistent. I'm a consistent queen. But back to the topic of the video. Why did Ethan Klein focus on 2 extremely irrelevant and inconsequential individuals instead of focusing on a much bigger story that I genuinely believe that Mika and Aubrey were used to suppress? So let's talk about the H3 Snark Reddit lawsuit and why Ethan Klein will not answer Adam McIntyre.
People who think that there's a gotcha and talk about plantations when you're British, you're all fucking idiots. What are you talking about? Well, how do you think black people got to fucking Britain, dick? Like, Britain had a fucking slave trade. We just fucked over our slaves in other parts of the world, like in Jamaica and shit. And some of those slaves were taken after the war, usually, Windrush, around that period, or different parts of the 20th century, were taken from those countries where we used to have plantations, and then the descendants of those slaves came to the UK. It's okay for British black people to talk about fucking plantations. The pyramids? Different question.
I made a video called Ethan Klein Needs to Address This, in which Adam McIntyre discusses the H3 Snark Reddit being hit with numerous different copyright claims. Now, just to bring you up to speed, if you skip past some bits, the H3 Snark Reddit is basically a place where people who dislike the podcast, people who dislike Ethan Klein, can talk shit about him freely.
Yes, everyone knows. Yes, everyone knows that the pyramids were actually built by aliens. Because I'm sorry, I'm joking.
Hey there. See you later.
I thought that joke was maybe a bit too subtle. Okay. Ah! Kill spiders. Loot them for their venom sacs. What? Wait. Loose dirt. I don't like questing in this place. It's a death trap. Fucking murlocs. Oh no. This is where you do lots of AoE grinding as a mage, right? Ugh.
Because as we know, the H3 podcast subreddit is moderated by the team. So disparaging and negative critiques about the H3 podcast, as well as its show hosts, tends to be wiped away. And I mean, that's their subreddit. They can do with it as they see fit. However, it's unsurprising that there has now become a space where people who do want to criticize, whether that's positively criticize or simply to just hate on these people, they made a new place to go. So last month, Adam McIntyre basically did a call-out video to Ethan Klein and stated, the H3 Snark subreddit is alleging that you are placing false copyright claims on the subreddit in order to get the subreddit terminated. It's quite clear that the content that you have selected for copyright falls within fair use. So Ethan Klein and the H3 podcast, why are you abusing the copyright system?
You cannot hide behind trying to silence a fucking snark page, specifically when you guys were fucking...
Any of these people are going to mention the fact that the Hassan Snark subreddit got nuked fucking immediately. Is anyone going to mention that? Do any of these commentators mention any of that? Or is that just like not important? Is that just superfluous information?
Sourcing out the fucking Trishy land of last year. It's not fair. It's not fair. It's not fair. Just because the views are down, the memberships are down, whatever the fuck is going on, it doesn't mean you can silence criticism, because that is not fair. Specifically, if you're going to do it this very weird way when it comes to fair use and copyright, which you got a successful peak on YouTube for, because you fought against. Because you fought against it.
This video gained around 100,000 views and went into detail about the copyright infringements that were placed against the H3 Snark subreddit. Now, for a period of time, the H3 Snark Reddit went dark. Once lawyers and legal notices and letters and all of that kind of stuff were making its way through, the moderation team had a little bit of a regroup to see if they could continue even running the Snark Reddit. Adam McIntyre basically said in his video if Ethan Klein could prove that the allegations that the H3 Snark Reddit were levying against Ethan Klein, that he was unfairly copyright claiming videos on the subreddit, that Ethan Klein could prove that this was untrue, then Adam McIntyre would go forth and make a retraction online for the allegations that were levied against him. Adam McIntyre in this video was basically begging Ethan Klein to prove that this is not going on. Begging Ethan Klein to prove him wrong.
Go on, I know you want to prove the Reddit wrong. Prove them wrong. Prove your snark wrong. Disprove it. Disprove that you're copyright striking criticism of content clips against you and you're the fair. Disprove it. Come on. We are rooting for you. Come on, chat. We are rooting for them. Just do it. And if you will, we will all be on here and we'll be like, yes, it wasn't them. And you know why? Because on a video yesterday, I spoke about how much I respected Ethan.
Wasn't it that they were also... Wait. What's the accent? It's Irish.
Health warning.
Oh shit. Oh no. I'm in trouble. Big trouble. This is a death trap. This is a big death trap. These guys are strong fuckers. I have to get 12 heads. 12 heeds. Health warning. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Has Ethan denied that he was copyright striking H3 Snark? Like, what content was it for? Was it just for regular H3 clips, or was it for fans only content? Because if it's for members content, that makes perfect sense. And if it's the other, it's just because you're just using whatever underhanded tactic to defeat another underhanded tactic, which is the fact that the Hassan Snark Reddits just get obliterated immediately. And it's like, if you're not in an even playing field, then why would you bother, right?
When it came to fighting for fair use and fighting for copyright protection. Go on, disprove it. Disprove it so I can double down on, while I may have issues with Ethan, I respect him for fighting for fair use. I respect him for fighting for YouTube copyright. You know why? Because it directly affects me with the content I make. And regardless of my opinions of him, I fucking respect him for fighting that battle back then. But if this is true, then it all crumbles. Disprove it.
Now, despite at the time Adam McIntyre's video having over 100,000 views on the topic, that is extremely condemning to the reputation of H3, which we'll discuss in a moment, Ethan Klein came back and did not give any airtime to the allegations that I really do think can have a much bigger harm to the reputation of H3H3, and focused on the little person and Mika's Rhetoric's rambling video. And again, Mika's video was extremely inconsequential because it did not have the views until people put a spotlight.
It also didn't really have anything to say. I thought 100,000 views, though. By the time Ethan was reacting to it, she had about 100,000 views, no? As did that Adam person. It's not really that much from 100,000, like whatever. Okay.
light on it. Now, I originally wasn't going to speak on this situation because I genuinely felt that Adam McIntyre did a fantastic job of laying out the story for everybody. And if I don't have anything to add to a conversation, I'm just not going to talk. However, a couple of days ago, there were some new developments on the Snark subreddit. The moderators of the H3 Snark subreddit came through with receipts, as well as legal notices and documentation, showing that H3 Productions, under the TED Inc. umbrella, had used the same lawyer that aided Ethan Klein and Gila Klein in their monumental copyright and fair use lawsuit. They attempted to use that lawyer to sue the H3 Snark Reddit, to which I believe that the moderation team of the H3 Snark Reddit have been able to sufficiently prove to me, at least, that these are unfair copy claims with the intent to silence and dismiss criticism in a place.
Mate, I wouldn't take those H3 Snark people's opinions on how to sit properly in a fucking toilet seat seriously. Why would you take them seriously on their claims about what's legally okay and what isn't? What the fuck? Have you seen that Reddit? Those people are absolutely insane. They're lunatics. Ugh. Whatever, dude.
That the H3 podcast cannot control. But before we get into the lawsuit and we go through it piece by piece, brick by brick, yes, this is going to be a long video, girl. Whilst I was taking a look at some background information on the H3 Snark Reddit, I ended up stumbling across a post that was made that I genuinely just want to clear up and also use as an opportunity to call out, in a friendly-ish way, I guess, Nicholas Diorio. Now, whilst in a live stream, Nicholas Diorio, as he stupidly does quite frequently, ended up showing his inbox on Twitter, to which people had noticed that AB, one of the members of the H3 podcast, was in Nicholas Diorio's DMs. Other members of the H3 Snark Reddit had also noticed that my name was there too. And that started the whole, we don't like Paige, she supports yada yada yada. Now, I have had a parasocial love-hate relationship with Nicholas Diorio for quite some time. I respect him as a content creator. I think he's fucking fantastic at what he does, even if I don't agree with him. However, as a person, I find him insufferable, as he does with me. He doesn't like me either. However, I would say that there was a morsel amount of mutual respect. I stay in my corner, you stay in yours, and we're good. However, when I found out the update of the H3 Snark Reddit, as well as the lawsuits and legal documents and all of that kind of stuff, I reached out to Nicholas Diorio to let him know about it. As you can see on the screen, this is exactly what I said to Nicholas Diorio. Now, I did this because whilst Nicholas Diorio will suck the literal skin of Ethan Klein's phallic object, I do believe that Nicholas Diorio is a man of his word, and he understands that fair is fair. And he is more than willing to call out friends, which I've seen numerous times over his career on YouTube, for the good of what is right. I literally saw this boy disown his very good friend, John Swan, over lies it is that he told that reflected bad on the commentary community. Nicholas Diorio went out of his way to make a stance and say, this is fucked up and I don't stand by it. Now, I did also think to myself that maybe Nicholas Diorio just simply doesn't care about copyright law and copyright infringements and false copyright claims. But no, Nicholas Diorio also has a patented history of speaking about copyright infringements within his community, and he has spoken about it frequently. For instance, he has a video from 4 years ago about the content creator Susie Liu, who is placing false copyright claims on numerous different individuals within the commentary space, because again, she didn't like their criticism. This is what Nicholas Diorio had to say in a video about Susie Liu 4 years ago.
YouTubers who abuse built-in support systems to silence creators who are critical of them are the worst of the worst. Public figures who can't take jokes and go through the same avenues to silence satire are just as bad. The idea of being able to criticize a public figure exists through nearly every form of media publication, be it TV, newspapers, and digital media like articles and blogs. Kind of ironic that we're just 1 year past when she filed a false DMCA copyright strike on a YouTuber named Mark After Dark and was left with a slap on the wrist. This woman is so thin-skinned that she will silence any form of criticism that she can abuse through her tools and her channel channel manager at YouTube. At the end of the day, what we have here is a woman who simply can't take any form of negativity. She dismisses any critique as a hate video. She abuses YouTube's tools to silence criticism of her brand, and this woman is trying to rally creators to take a stand on criticism so they can get away with their degenerate bullshit. If this becomes normalized, people like I'm Alex could theoretically have removed the videos that vindicated Slazo.
Why does everyone say that Nick DeOrio is like a right-winger? Where does that come from? Like a Nazi or a fascist? Like, where? What? I feel like I've just had that impression from people for so long, but I don't know where it came from. That's why I never repeated it. Like, it's just... I know Hassan has mentioned it, is that he has a Nazi podcast or whatever, but like, which he doesn't. Is it just Hassan? He's very edgy. Is he? What's he said that's so edgy? Oh shit, come back, fucker. Hey. He gives the vibe. I think honestly some people just say this because they're not far left. Like, if someone's not far left, you're just gonna think, oh, Nazi, What?
People like Tati Westbrook would be able to silence creators like James Charles. But the people this shit really hurts is the little guy. It creates an avenue for massive YouTubers to crush smaller channels who discover something worthy of being talked about.
Nicholas DeOrio, even more recently, within the past like 4 months or so, has been speaking about another content creator called Dark Viper, who also has been accused of abusing the copyright system in order to silence negative critique about him on social media. So Nicholas DeOrio has kind of always let it be known to him, his audience, and everybody around him that abusing the copyright system is bad for everybody within the community, bad for YouTube, and abusing the copyright system to silence critique or negative critiques about somebody is a shitty thing to do. However, since I explained that the false copyright claiming that was taking place on the H3 Snark Reddit was actually, I believe, in my humble opinion, completely unfounded, I did not hear back from Nicholas DeOrio. Now, let it be known that Nicholas DeOrio is not very well liked on the H3 Snark Reddit either. So the situation could be that Nicholas DeOrio may not care about this stupid little subreddit being taken down, because at the end of the day, the majority of Reddit's moderators work for free, and it really isn't hurting anybody's back. However, I believe that there should be a place for everybody to be able to say what they want at all times. For example, in a recent Nicholas DeOrio live stream video that he posted to his channel, he poses the question to the audience as to why the H3 Snark Reddit even exists. And he can't understand why this horrible negative subreddit is still up.
I think it's shocking that that subreddit is even still active. How is the H3 Snark Reddit still up and all the other subreddits like that have been banned?
Well, Nicholas DeOrio, there is an entire law that I have discussed on this channel extensively. But the main reason that the H3 Snark Reddit exists is because Ethan Klein has had a patented history of mobilizing his audience to attack other people. He has encouraged his fans to go to hate snark threads of other people that it is that he dislikes, such as Trishyland. And when the snark Reddit of Trisha Paytas went down because there was disputes between the moderation team about the direction of the snark Reddit, Ethan Klein and his team took it upon themselves to create their own called Frenemies 15. And then in a live stream, continued to ask their...
Wait, Hassan used to literally on stream brigade LSF threads that were being mean to him to get them downvoted. Like, he used to do that on stream. She missed the point. Yeah, she's missing the point of the double standard. Just mute her and we can watch you play. Listen, you guys have mixed opinions, okay? Some of you want to keep playing this video. Some of you want me to stop it. Which means My allegiance lies with the highest bidder, okay? Because you both make very compelling cases, and I can't possibly decide. Okay.
Audience to come into this snark thread so that they could continue the fun.
Real quick, small, interesting little update, I think.
Oh no.
Is this a new development?
Frenemies too. Oh, you have to request to join? Did I fuck this? Did I do this?
That's what I'm thinking.
Oh man. What happened?
We talked about it on the show. We must have just gotten bum rushed by a bunch of fans.
Holy fuck.
Damn.
You heard that? Mina's the highest bidder. 25 euros a month, guys. You heard that?
The moderators have set this as private once approved. Shit.
Straight
I
up.
love the sad music.
Straight
Well,
facts.
I gotta request access now. I mean, I need to know what's going on Frenemies too.
Definitely.
It's not even letting me.
3.
Damn, the Keep It Goings have it so far. The Keep It Goings are up strong. Thanks for the $10, Scavenger. Really appreciate that. Hello, Coast Runner. Innocent little Coast Runner. Die. Little Explorer.
Frenemies 3 is still open.
Well, Frenemies 3 is going to be Frenemies too.
Right.
Left side is secure Frenemies 12, so we're safe.
Okay.
Wait, Frenemies 12 is us?
Yeah.
Oh!
Wait, why
Frenemies
can't
12 is the
I?
official one.
Hang on.
Go to Frenemies 12, people, since Frenemies 2 is closed.
Frenemies 2 is like home base. You know what I mean?
Why have they done this? Also, it doesn't even let me request. Only approved members can take part.
It's so unfortunate.
Oh, fuck. I fucked up. What happened? This Frenemies 2.
It's okay, everybody migrate to Frenemies 12. This is the new home.
Frenemies 12 is the new home?
Yeah,
Okay, that's the one we have, right?
That's the one that Love has, yeah.
After a while of people becoming wise to Ethan Klein and noticing this behavioral pattern of throwing his audience every single time at anybody it is that he dislikes or has any criticism for him, people who had a problem with that became the birth of the H3 Snark Reddit. Now, Nicholas Diorio, do you remember in Tommy C's live stream when you called me a stupid bitch? Because I didn't understand the lore of everything that was taking place with Illuminati, and you rightfully called me out on that because I gave my opinion with limited understanding. Well, you two also don't have the full context of the lore of the H3 Snark subreddit and how it became to be. And this is why
that doesn't explain why other Snark Reddits got taken down immediately and this one stayed up. That doesn't answer the question. She completely sidestepped the question. She's dodging the interview, bro. She's fleeing. Yeah, lots of people defended the Illuminati to begin with. Fucking Lance did for a little bit. And then they scrubbed her out like fucking Stalin and that guy.
I think it's hard for Nicholas Diorio to dislike me because I can take an L and I'm morally consistent. I am not a Fallen fan. I have never liked Ethan Klein. My documented disdain for Ethan Klein and the H3 podcast as a whole has been going on long before the popularization of Israel versus Palestine, so I'm not politically motivated. I've defended Ethan Klein's rights to his beliefs, regardless of whether I believe in it too. I have openly and publicly supported Ethan Klein against Jake Doolittle and the fuck shit it is that he tried to pull. And I even defended Ethan Klein when it came to the QT Cinderella situation, where I felt like, yes, the joke was in bad taste, but I don't believe it was done intentionally and maliciously. So for somebody who vehemently dislikes Ethan Klein, I give him grace. Fairly and frequently. And I have never ever attacked Ethan Klein based on his political or cultural beliefs. Because again, he's entitled to his wrong opinion. So whilst you might dislike the ethos of the H3 Snark Reddit and what it stands for, the same way that you needed that Tommy C podcast space to be able to scream into the ether that I am a stupid bitch, these people have the right to be able to say that Ethan Klein is a see you next Tuesday. So now that we've got the whole Nicholas Diorio situation clear, let's take a look at this lawsuit. So 4 days ago, the H3 Snark subreddit and the moderation team for that subreddit posted, confirmed Ethan Klein hired...
I will say, how fucking long is this video? I don't even really hate this person. Like, compared to Mika's rhetoric, it's a, it's a breath of fresh air. But the video ends at some point, doesn't it? It's not like I'm in fucking Groundhog Day where I'm just going to be watching this person talk forever about reminding me for the 80th time that she always hated Ethan Klein. She hasn't just changed her mind last minute like everyone else did. Like, what's going on? The fuck?
an attorney to issue copyright claims against the r/H3 snark. On the 17th of December 2024, the r/H3 snark mods was sent evidence that an attorney acting on behalf of TED Entertainment Incorporated had been filing DMCA takedown notices against videos on the sub. An OP whose posts/clips were removed by Reddit's legal operations team submitted an intellectual property inquiry with Reddit legal support and sent us screenshots and a PDF of Reddit's response. Now, what's H3H3/Ethan said about clipping his videos in the past? On January 25th, 2023, Ethan announced on air that he was opening up the H3 IP to the world after being inspired by Hassan Piker and the Hassan Abbey industrial complex. He was excited that clips from his non-members and members-only content could possibly help others gain some financial stability and even give them a chance to grow on their own YouTube channels. H3 talked about how excited they were that they opened up their IP on the show more than once.
I am opening our IP to the world. This is a message with peace and love.
You can now make your own H3 podcast. That's right, everyone.
I guess you
Is that what you
could.
mean?
That's not what I mean. That's not what I mean. No. You can't make a fake H3 podcast. Although you probably could actually, because I don't think anyone would mistake it.
I mean, if it's a parody, you can do whatever you want.
Anyone would mistake
You got a
it.
health pot.
So
yeah, but you're always admitting defeat when you take a health pot. Okay, you're supposed to know the game. You're supposed to know when it's time to health pot, and that was not time to health pot. Clearly, as I'm still alive. Okay, don't talk to me like I haven't played this game before. Right? I clearly just showed you. I'm gonna be such an asshole before I get killed. I'm just saying, okay? I know this game well enough. I know what's going on.
Our IP is open. I got inspired by Hassan. He has the Hassan Industrial Complex. So I want the.
There's a reason I have 9 health pots, okay? And there's a reason I still have leftover fucking old potions that'll do barely anything for me, okay? There's a reason I have these. Because I'm a fucking nutter, all right?
Ethan Industrial Complex. I think it's a good idea. I like it.
Yeah, I think it's really cool.
And it's actually crazy how like many people are seemingly making a decent living from having their own clips channels of him.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want to cut up clips from the podcast, from our members live, from anything with me in it.
Oh, these are stealthed. I'll take this then.
Go for it, man. Monetize it. I will not claim. I will not remove. I will not do anything. I mean, to be fair, it's basically been my policy. I don't claim or remove anything really at all.
But now you're making it explicit.
Yeah. Yeah, we opened up our IP to anyone who wants to make clips.
H3.
Here is H3 Industry hard at work with 2 videos, 2 subscribers. Let's go. Get in there, boy.
Almost exactly a year later, Ethan Klein made another announcement on air and via Instagram stories that he was going to start DMCAing all members' content and warned creators that using members-only clips that they should remove those clips if they don't want to strike against their channel. The video chapter in the episode is even titled SYNT Highlights, referring exclusively to members-only content. Ethan said he felt it was unfair that content intended for paying members was being shared by clip channels for free, which I think we could all agree is 100% fair.
So anyway, here's what we're doing. I had said previously that you can clip our podcast, and I had even said that you can clip the members. So here's what I'm saying, finally.
There's a clip.
You can clip the members if it's reasonable length. Full re-uploads will be erased with DMCAs with peace and love.
Delete.
So no full re-uploads.
Delete.
If it's a reasonably length highlight, we will let you survive.
Ethan never publicly announced that he was closing his IP up or that he would strike clips of publicly accessible non-members H3 content. How do you know that Ethan is filing the DMCA takedown notices and not somebody else? OP's email from Reddit legal support confirms that claims against clips posted on the H3 snark have been filed by a lawyer on behalf of TED Entertainment Inc. Ethan is the host of the H3 podcast / show and the co-founder of TEI. The lawyer acting on behalf of TEI has previously represented Ethan and Gila Klein in other lawsuits. They worked on their landmark fair use case, Hosinzadeh, I think I pronounced that correctly, versus Klein, a lawsuit that brought Klein's international recognition and respect, especially in the YouTube commentary community. They also worked on the Triller Fight Club LLC versus the H3 podcast. And they aren't lying, this was an extremely huge landmark case.
Fuck.
In fact, in 2021,
I
I had a lawsuit coming my
might
way
web me. What if he
for
puts me on a web and kills me?
defamation as
Fuck.
well as copyright infringement. And during this dispute, my
Oh, fuck,
lawyer
I'm poisoned.
referenced the H3 podcast and their groundbreaking case as a case.
Thanks for the help, pup, but I didn't need it. Clearly.
warning.
I was fine. Guarantee you would have had him out. No problem. Guy's just cramping my style.
Steady against the people who felt that their IP was infringed on. So this H3 lawsuit that took place about 8 years ago now was a case that set the standard and set the precedent of what is to be expected when we are dealing with fair use and fair dealings laws, allowing for commentary to be equally qualified as transformative content. Ethan Klein also had a lawsuit with Triller. Basically, Ethan Klein streamed a Triller PPV event, and whilst yes, he was giving commentary, it was a live event, therefore it was kind of muddying the waters a little bit in terms of what can constitute as transformative content, especially for live on-air pay-per-view content. And also, the same reason that Ethan Klein doesn't want his members-only content to be redistributed, which is a fair thing for him to want. The same also could be said for Triller not wanting their pay-per-view to be available live at the same time as their event. There are some people who are literally paying for that event. However, I will say that the lawsuit between Ethan Klein and Triller ended up having the case dismissed, with Ethan Klein having to front all of his own legal fees. So whilst they did try and fight this case against Ryan Kavanagh, it really amounted to nothing because genuinely I didn't see any way that Ethan Klein was going to be able to get away with that. It was definitely pushing the boundaries of what fair use is. You can see a redacted copy of the PDF shared with the H3 Mods team here. So let's take a look. Okay, so this is the email from Reddit legal support directly to the original poster on behalf of TED Entertainment Incorporated. It says, I am a licensed attorney and the authority agent of the copyright holder TED Entertainment Inc. This takedown notice concerns the Reddit post titled LB says far leftists hate Israel because Israel is backed by the West, and this can lead to anti-Semitism. Ethan agrees. So they continue in detail.
Hey, that's me, LB. That's me. What a summary. I love that when you just get rid of all the substance and just summarize it to lefties hate the West and that leads to anti-Semitism. It sounds kind of stupid, doesn't it? Wow, if you miss like 7 steps in that fucking process, then it sounds kind of crazy. Crazy. Shit. Bro, what the fuck am I doing? I have to get 40 eyeballs. Why?
Tell the post it is that they are referring to and basically saying that they feel like it can lead to anti-Semitism, which we're talking about a copyright infringement of somebody's IP. The consequence of the commentary in the title, for me, just is neither here nor there, or whether it can cause anti-Semitism. Then I feel like we're going down the roads of like defamation, slander, libel, rather than a copyright infringement. So it's kind of interesting that we're convoluting the two things in the same suit. Like, why are we discussing the impact of something anything if it isn't monetarily. And don't get me wrong, Ethan Klein and his attorney are completely entitled to their opinions and perspectives, but I just don't think it has any space here when it comes to copyright infringement of somebody's IP, legally speaking. As a copyright attorney, I examined the infringing post and the infringing clip together in their entirety. I have determined that...
Oh, is she mistaking the IP as in Israel-Palestine with intellectual property? Maybe? Maybe? Vanish won't save you here. That's fine. It'll reset the aggro. I'm not going to go too far out of my way.
The use of the infringing clip in the infringing post is not fair use. Below is a summary of some, but not all, of the key takeaways from my analysis. First, the use of the infringing clip...
This guy responded. No, he hasn't been on Twitter today. Yeah, well, it is what it is. Okay. Huh.
Clip in the infringing post does not serve a different purpose or have a different character than the original work. The title does not provide any commentary. LB says that far leftists hate Israel because Israel is backed by the West. I would consider that commentary, but okay. Rather, the title by the poster merely quotes parts of the infringing clip. Additionally, there is no comment to the infringing post other than automated moderator comment, and the moderators have prohibited the creation of any comments on the infringing...
The take there, by the way, just if you want to know what I was actually saying, and it's quite charitable to leftists, actually. I don't even know how true it is, like, but it's the more charitable take to them, which is that if you're a communist, your number one hatred is like the West. You hate the West because the West is the heart of imperialism. It's the side that fought against the Soviet Union, etc., etc. That's why you care more, but that's why that's the imperialism that matters, whereas Chinese, Russian, fucking Iranian imperialism doesn't really matter to you. It's like you get into a position where, like, because Western imperialism is what you see to be the murderer of communism, basically. Like, every time a revolution is about to happen, it gets crushed first and foremost by the West. That's your position. So basically, anything that undermines the West is a good thing. That's what Chairman Mao literally said in his like little red book, and that's how they act. So they become campists. They become anything that undermines the West is good, and anything that supports the West is bad. And that will coincidentally lead you into the hands of hating Israel, because Israel supports and is supported by the West. And it will also lead you to supporting Israel's enemies like Iran, Hamas, Hezbollah, the Houthis, who happen to be anti-Semitic. And since you are by proxy supporting and doing apologia for some of the biggest anti-Semites in the world, you too, yourself, by extension, will be engaging in a form of anti-Semitism. That's it. But honestly, I think quite a few of them are just Jew haters. I don't know. I just think they care about bigotry in other forms, but a lot of them just don't seem to really like Jews. I don't know. And that's why you end up, like, whether directly or not, you end up engaging in behavior that you would only ever associate with a bigot otherwise. When someone's like, oh, Ethan, come on, listen, I talk to Jews. I support Jews. I like Sam Cedar. I like Norman Finkelstein. I like Chomsky. Like, you sound like that's like a bigoted deflection. That's like, oh, I've got Jewish friends. Fuck. This is trouble. I will have to pot this one probably. Like, immediately. Ah! And I might have to fucking flee. Will I? Let's load up a sprint. Die. Fucker. Die.
Warning.
Die. I can maybe get this one in bandage. All right. Come on. Come on.
Health warning.
Bah! Any ticks? No ticks? All right,
Health
we're good.
warning.
Bah! There's the tick. Give me it. I got you. I'm fine.
Health
Strong
warning.
bandage. Huh. Let's do a little gouge. Let's run the other way. Away from the respawn point. Hey. Come on. JVP. Yeah. Or you just advocate for policies that are like completely detrimental to the interests of like half the world's Jews. Oh shit, wait, this is this poison ticking is actually quite bad. It's actually quite strong. I can't let this thing hit me. This is dangerous. Fuck! Fuck! 155. 3 more ticks. I have to vanish. And eat.
Health warning.
Quick. Holy shit. That would have killed me. If I stayed fighting, I'd have died. Oh god.
Health warning.
Okay. We're fine. That was 3 at once with no evasion. All right.
Post. Not only does the infringing post fail to provide any commentary, criticism, or further insight into the work itself, it could have easily achieved its purpose to inform Redditors of the contents of the infringing clip by either embedding or linking the original work at the relevant timestamp in the infringing post. Finally, the infringing post containing the infringing clip results in a market harm to the original work. Each view of the infringing clip siphons views away from the original work. This results in ad revenue derived from the original work. Further, if the conduct were to become widespread, i.e. other Reddit posts containing clips from the work without further criticism, comment, or further insight into the original
Well, this isn't
work,
nice.
this
This is
would
not pleasant at
further
all.
exasperate my client's loss of revenue. So basically, because this Reddit poster just gave it a caption, I guess, as a title of things that were directly taken as a quote from the original video, they believe that this doesn't constitute as commentary or enough commentary to make it transformative, and therefore infringes on Ethan and the H3 podcast's copyright IP. Now, if the infringing clip was the podcast show in its entirety, I would most definitely say that that was infringing on somebody's copyright and he would have absolutely every right to take it down. However, as we're about to read, that is not the case here. So
Someone literally whispered me in game saying, "Time to die, little gup." Some little fuck. They thought I was done for. They had no faith. Come on! Oh, not the deadly poison. How long does it last? It lasts 2 minutes. Oh, what's this? I don't know. I think Spider Silk is quite good, but okay. Lonerbox is the only political commentator that's both an honorary Jew and an honorary Palestinian. Yeah, true.
it continues. How did this all go down? Here's a timeline of events based on all of the information we've been able to gather so far. On the 20th of November 2024, the H3 show aired a publicly available live stream titled We Played Poker with...
Transformative is not posting a clip and then adding a caption. That's not transformative. There's no... Stop. Can you explain this terrible Lil Gut bit? Well, it's Irrelevant's answer to Lil Bro. You know Irrelevant, the black guy? Strong emphasis on the word black there. You're basically being racist. You're denying a piece of black culture. Lil Gup is literally black culture, okay? So you can take it up with him. And probably the entire community by extension. Lil Gup.
with Ninja, Impractical Jokers, and more. H3 Show 83. At the time of this post, the runtime stands at 6 hours, 0 minutes, and 25 seconds. On the 22nd of November 2024, the original poster published a post containing a 20-second long clip from the H3 Show 83 on Snark, which accounts for 0.00925% of the total runtime of the H3 83 podcast. The same day, the first DMCA takedown notice was filed by TEI authority agent. On the 25th of November 2024, the H3 Show aired a publicly available live stream titled I Haven't Been Well. H3 Show 83.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure for copyright, it can literally be a few seconds. It can be less than 15 seconds. That Billie Eilish copyright's gonna fuck me in the ass right now because of those little 2-second snippets. Right. Where are my eyeballs? Here. I need to put that here. Okay. Need 3 more. And then get me out of this wretched place. Imagine if I went in the cave. You think I should go in the cave?
85. At the time of this post, the runtime stands at 3 hours, 56 minutes, and 35 seconds. That same day, the OP published a post containing a 1 minute and 50-second long clip from the H3 85 show on the H3 Snark. The second one accounts for 0.776% of the total runtime of H385. On the 26th of November 2024, the second DMCA takedown notice was filed by TEI's authority agent against the same OP. On the 29th of November 2024, OP's post was removed, which is the first one, was removed by Reddit's legal operations team in response to a copyright notice. OP was issued with a warning from Reddit admin on that same morning. On the 6th of December 2024, OP's second post was removed by Reddit's legal...
Is this not... Maybe I need to look more into the details of what's happening here. The way I understand this is that he's basically using what would probably be considered dirty tactics to deal with a dirty situation. Like, it's not right that H3 Snark stays up, but all the other Snark channels go down. And there's not really a good explanation for that. So you might as well, just to level the playing field. It's what you might call using a slightly immoral mean to reach a moral end. But, they could also just link the clip. Fuck. Is this hardcore? Yeah. We're almost... I'm probably going to switch to survival mode because that was too much. I was not comfortable there. I'm not comfortable in this place either.
Legal operations team. In response to a copyright notice, later that morning, the mod team published false copyright strike mega thread. Ethan Klein is abusing the copyright system to censor criticism about himself and the H3 podcast on Reddit to the H3 Snark and announced a pause on uploading all clips to the sub. On the 7th of December 2024, the original poster submitted their intellectual property request about their first post and the second post to Reddit regarding the removals. On the 10th of December 2024, the H3 Snark mods published a post titled, "We are resuming clip posts on the H3 Snark with advice for how Snarkers can further transform the clips." On the 17th of December 2024, OP received the response email from Reddit's legal support and contacted the mod team. It continues, "So why is Ethan striking clips of non-members..."
I'm so sorry, Brandon. When I say the other Snark page, I'm clearly referring to the ones that are relevant to this particular interaction, but okay, well done. Oh, God. Okay.
Members' content on the H3 Snark. We don't pretend to know what goes on in Ethan's mind, but if we had to guess, it's probably because he wants to silence criticism about himself and the H3 podcast show. And I think also, Ethan Klein is probably not liking the fact that people can't see the podcast in its entirety. Like, maybe he feels like there should be more encouragement to see the podcast in its entirety so that he can have, you know, context, I guess. Which I can totally understand, but also the idea of just putting the full original live stream just doesn't really work for the format of Reddit. Because should Ethan Klein decide to remove the entire live stream, then there is no archivable content for people to be able to pinpoint whenever he does, you know, make a mess up or a F up or anything that needs to be addressed. That would give Ethan Klein full control over how his content is viewed, period. Because the T is, if the OP was to have uploaded the entire H3 podcast so that those context clues were available for the audience, then the OP would most definitely be infringing on Ethan Klein's intellectual property. It continues, H3 has censored criticism from viewers for a long time, disabling and heavily filtering, deleting comments on YouTube, shadow banning paying members from participating in the members only live chat, and banning people for even the slightest pushback. This year, he has made it a habit to seek out criticism about himself on Reddit, Twitter, TikTok, etc., even from his own fans. So he can, to quote Ethan, pop out and show 'em. Sometimes you gotta pop out and show niggas. In his Instagram stories. Longtime watchers of H3 also know that they often go back and remove footage after a live stream that they believe might spark controversy or bring them a...
The Hassan Sark was named Hassan Piker. Obviously, it was taken down. Really? Can you explain this one, Brandon? You dishonest fucking dribbling cunt. Look, I don't know why people would try to fucking pretend that Hassan doesn't get preferential treatment from Reddit. Like, why? The fact that he can literally brigade threads live on stream and not suffer consequences for it. Meanwhile, like, shut the fuck up. Stop deflecting. All right. Okay.
A lot of criticism or backlash because beyond the big censorship button that they can push at a 30-second delay, they have frequently in the past had to go up and trim entire sections of the podcast. This means that footage of H3's opinions, conducts during a live broadcast sometimes cannot be embedded or linked with a timestamp, making clips of publicly available non-members H3 content the only way to ensure that footage remains publicly accessible and viewable.
We didn't say. Do you see how you had to rephrase the argument there to make it sound like a ridiculous claim? Like, because you're a liar? Do you see how taking something like Hassan gets preferential treatment is a bit different from controlling it? Do you understand how you had to do that? Are you going to deny that there's preferential treatment, really, with fucking Dan Clancy towards Hassan? Are you serious?
For critical commentary. Ethan's threatened to sue Reddit over this subreddit
Here, Abby, let's just go watch this video that's apparently Hassan pretending they can build their own snipers from scratch and glaze the fuck out of it. Based!
repeatedly. At first he said on air his lawyer said that suing Reddit would be pointless, but that didn't stop him from wondering whether the literal FBI could somehow help him shut this sub down. Despite saying that he's against snark subs, Ethan threatened to create a sub dedicated to snarking on Reddit executives if they did not permaban snark, and even made up a conspiracy theory that a specific Reddit admin is the reason we are still up and running. For over a year, Ethan has complained that he has no recourse with Reddit about getting us permabanned. He has repeatedly made false accusations with no proof about this subreddit, its community, and its people who associate with us. He admitted on air to creating a snark, presumably to discourage people from joining and participating in the r/H3 snark. He has aired uncensored screenshots of posts and comments from this sub to his reportedly tens of thousands of viewers on YouTube. This has resulted in members of our community being harassed by H3 fans and defenders on Reddit and other social media sites. Ethan also threatened to dox members of the H3 snark. He's even joked before about doxing people and having a anthrax hookup. He recently combed through the profile of a user who criticized him on a different subreddit live on air because he suspected that they were a snarker. They were not. He doxed YouTuber North Star Radio live on air, berating him in front of his tens of thousands of viewers for posting H3 snark and making critical commentary video about the end of Leftovers. His long rants about North Star Radio prompted brigaders to harass NSR on YouTube and other social media sites. Other commentary creators have even said that they have avoided talking about H3 and Ethan Klein because of the harassment that they have received from H3 fans. This behavior...
Why doesn't she mention the H3 snark sub docs them? Well, because her source is a post on H3 snark. Why the fuck would they say that? Why would they say that?
Isn't new from Ethan. After all, he encouraged the same type of behavior towards Trisha Paytas after Frenemies, and is now doing the same to Hassan Piker, as well as smaller creators who have criticized him. We believe that Ethan is striking publicly accessible, non-members clips on the H3 snark as part of a larger project of censoring criticism about him on platforms that he cannot control himself. We suspect that he is trying to extend the reach of his echo chamber by doing whatever he can to stop people from discussing his beliefs, statements, and conducts as a public figure online, as well as sharing evidence of it in spaces beyond his control. It's funny, Ethan actually complained that Ryan Kavanagh of Triller Fight Club LLC versus the H3 podcast fame was doing the same to him. So what now? Well, Ethan Klein has never publicly said that he's closing up the H3 IP when it comes to clips from his non-members content. We know that he hasn't done this because there are still multiple H3 clip channels operating on YouTube, and H3 clips are still shared on other sites like Instagram, TikTok, and even other subreddits seemingly without issue. Moving forward, we strongly advise that all clip posts to the H3 Snark provide criticism/commentary in the title, must include criticism/commentary in the accompanying comments to promote discourse and add transformative elements to the video posted. We are not lawyers, but we are happy to answer Snarkers' questions and work with the community as a whole to find ways for us to adjust as we continue to grow. Now, as you can see from this Reddit post, there are loads.
That's a great story, Brandon. Just waiting for you to actually acknowledge any of the fucking points before just pivoting to random, like, non sequiturs. Just waiting. Just waiting.
Of sections that are in blue, these are all the accompanying receipts, threads.
Just a quick question, Brandon. I just say yes or no, okay? We need the litmus test. I need to make the one guy to ban pipeline a little bit shorter, okay? It's just a self-preservation thing. Yes or no question. Does Hassan get away with violating Twitch TOS or not?
Posts, pictures, images, censored content, timestamps, receipts.
Just a yes or no question.
Proof.
Just a yes or no question.
Screenshots.
I know you want to tell us so much about your fucking neckbeard Reddit odyssey, okay? I just want to get some basics out of the way. You know, we have to just acknowledge a few basics of reality before we find out if it's worth deep diving into anything. Does Hassan get away with violating Twitch TOS constantly or not? No. Yeah, see, that's why you're not a serious person worth engaging with. Read the fucking TOS when it comes to, like, Twitch and fucking terrorism videos or terror-related stuff. And how? That's insane. Like, you're not a real person. You're fake. You're literally a cyborg. You're allowed to watch IDF videos. I'm sorry, Twitch is an American platform. Since when has the IDF been recognized as a terrorist organization? What a retarded fucking rebuttal. You're so stupid. The IDF is a fucking professional state army. Holy shit. All right, get out. What an absolute moron. Jesus. Imagine being so fucking fried. Like, really, when does the Twitch TOS talk about fucking state militaries as terrorist organizations? No, Hassan doesn't violate Twitch TOS because, in my opinion, of what the TOS should be. Come on. Oh, God. Brandon. Poor Brandon. That's a really good strategy, by the way, guys. When people talk about debate broing and all that stuff, it's like, it's the opposite. Like, don't let people suck you into this kind of, like, irrelevant level of detail unless they can cover a few basics with you, right? So a very simple basic in that argument there is, like, do we think some people get away with violating the TOS on Twitch and so, well, others don't? Just start there, okay? It's the same thing if anyone wants to debate you on fucking, like, Israeli war conduct in Gaza. Like, you might agree with them on a bunch of things, like airstrikes or war crimes or, like, blocking of aid or whatever, but if you're going to get into that, you have to first of all ask, is like, okay, do you think Israel has any right at all to fight with Hamas? Like, any at all? What about the ones who are in Israel? The fighters who were roaming around Israel on October 7th? They have a right to kill them. Yeah, okay, well, did they have a right to go in for them after Gaza? And if they say no, which they probably, most of them do, then you have to debate that before you go in further. Like, you need to cover a few fundamentals before you can get into the more serious stuff, like the more substantial disagreements. Because otherwise, like, a lot of these things, people aren't actually arguing with you on those particular issues. Like, they're coming from a much broader disconnect. It's the same way that someone debating you on January 6th might debate on the details of who did what terror attack, or did someone really hit this other person with a fire extinguisher and all that. But it's like, if they're going that far deep into it, like, just step back. Did Trump lie about having the election being stolen from him? Because if they agree with all that, then it's like, well, that means they probably think that the insurrection was based and it should have succeeded. Because if you think the election was genuinely stolen, you probably would want the process to be interrupted. So, yeah, you just need to... I don't know what you would call that tactic. It's kind of like a fundamental, but what would you call it? The zooming, it's like zooming out, but that's just not catchy. Zooming out's not catchy. Anyway. You know what I'm saying. Shut up. Sanity testing. What? Yeah. Sanity check. Yeah, maybe. Why not? Oh! Yeah, maybe establish a sanity check. Why not? Yeah. Disclosure. It's like a disclosure form, you know? It's like we get that you're a good teacher, you know, but if you're gonna like teach kids, we need to establish a few fundamentals first. Like, have you you need to show us that you weren't arrested 8 years ago for having child porn on your computer. Yeah, it's a disclosure. It's a little disclosure form. Fuck.
Everything. Like everything it is that you could possibly need to be able to validate the claims it is that they are levying against Ethan Klein. Ethan Klein, it seems, is going out of his way to censor criticism that he has completely no control over. Now, there is the question of whether the original person who posted this post to the Snark Reddit transformed the content enough in order for it to be deemed transformative. And honestly, for me personally, this is somewhat of a legal grey area. For me, I would consider a caption that accurately, and not clickbait, but accurately depicts what we're about to see is fair transformative content, especially for clips that are less than 2 minutes long and are less than 1% of the overall podcast, which at times can go on for literally 7 hours. I think that they make an extremely great point that if they don't have access to the ability to archive certain clips without embedding them in videos, that it allows Ethan Klein and the team to be able to sweep under the rug any behavior that they can catch some flack for. From this point forward, the H3 Snark Reddit have basically said if you want to post clips to the H3 Snark, you have to have a caption as well as commentary. However, I find it quite interesting that when it comes to the Snark, we went straight to litigation. Instead of attempting to speak to H3 Snark moderators and come to an agreement of how content can be posted on the platform.
Could you imagine trying to have a serious conversation about standards with the H3 Snark subreddit? Oh my god. Wow.
He's gone out of his way to like agitate the subreddit and also make casual posters or fallen fans get scared of even posting any critique.
She's giving the Lex Fridman treatment. Why don't you just talk to them? Does she have a dream that they can sit and discuss peace? What the fuck? She's giving him the Lex treatment.
About Ethan Klein because we know that this man is lawsuit happy. But for me, when it comes to Ethan Klein, like always, as I say in every single video, it's just about the hypocrisy. So let me lay out why I think it is extremely hypocritical for Ethan Klein to have done a knee-jerk reaction in this way when it comes to people having the ability to use his IP. Ended up being in a landmark lawsuit against another content creator called Matt Hoss. On the H3 podcast, Ethan and Healer Klein reacted to some of this guy's content. However, Matt Haas felt as if them just reacting to his content wasn't transformative and that was his intellectual IP that they were stealing. Ethan and Gila Klein basically swiped back and said, "You're just upset that we are criticizing you and that's why you're trying to take it down by abusing the copyright system." So on the 25th of May 2016, Ethan and Gila Klein went onto the H3 podcast channel and basically told their viewers that they are being sued. That they also would like some financial help with this lawsuit because it is way financially out of their control, but also that what they did was fair use and transformative content. Now, this lawsuit was a groundbreaking lawsuit. When it comes to copyright infringement and the use of somebody else's IP, we have seen it in media publications. These kind of lawsuits, we have seen it on television and in entertainment. But at this point in 2016, we had not really seen it on the internet and how that works for commentators or people who do React style content. The H3 podcast ended up winning this suit after spending over $100,000 on the suit, setting a precedent across YouTube that commentary is transformative content, allowing literally everybody, including myself, who work on this platform to be able to critique and commentate and use clips to illustrate our subject matter without fear of copyright infringement.
After a lengthy battle, Ethan and Gila Klein, aka H3 Productions, won the lawsuit filed against them for copyright infringement, and it's being called a huge victory for YouTube. YouTuber Matt Haas sued H3 Productions for copyright infringement and defamation back in February of last year.
Oh, no.
H3 used Haas's video titled Bold Guy vs. Parkour Girl as content for their usual reaction style videos. They intercutted clips of their reactions with the original video. Matt Haas alleged that they used too much of his original video and sued them for copyright infringement. He also issued a copyright takedown
God,
of
the
their
audio is so spiky. Oh god. Oh, it's so sharp. It's so difficult to hear. Oh no. We've been streaming for 8 hours, guys. Well done.
their original video. And then Ethan and Gila made a video when they got sued.
Yes, we are being sued for copyright infringement. And it's been hanging over our lives like a cloud these past months.
Yeah.
We are being sued by Bold Guy, aka Matt Haas Zone. And I think the heart and soul of this is like that he doesn't like that we made fun of him, and so he's suing us. And it's obvious to all of us, but unfortunately fair use is a legal defense. It's not anything more than that. And to determine what is actually fair use is determined in a costly and long court hearing. And because Matt Haas, that bold man who is impervious to criticism, doesn't like that we said naughty things about him, he wants to go all the way with it.
But Judge Catherine B. Forrest ruled in favor of the Kleins after a 1.5-year long battle that cost them over $100,000. She said, quote, "Any review of the Klein video leaves no doubt that it constitutes critical commentary of the Haas video. There is also no doubt that the Klein video is decidedly not a market substitute for the Haas video. For these and the other reasons set forth below, defendants' use of clips from the Haas video constitutes fair use as a matter of law." They've now re-uploaded their reaction video, and Ethan tweeted, "We won the lawsuit! Video coming soon. Huge victory for fair use on YouTube."
Now, since this moment, Ethan Klein has kind of been put up there as like the god of fair use and fair dealings laws. And whenever there is a content creator who is finding themselves in a really sticky copyright infringement situation, Ethan Klein has frequently offered his help. For instance, there was a situation with another content creator called Spillsesh, who had been served a copyright strike or a copyright notice from the company Superbam. We all know who Superbam is, girl. They are infamous for this. They copyright claimed some content that was in Spillsesh's video that actually originated from—
This video is the perfect length. Stop. I feel like I'm watching a German opera.
Trisha Paytas video. And Ethan Klein made it very well known and public that anybody who attempts to use copyright in order to silence criticism is a piece of trash.
And Ethan obviously saw all these channels complaining about Trisha and Superbam because he tweeted, "Creators that claim other creators' videos are the biggest pieces of on the platform." And then he put the toilet paper emoji. And if you know, you know, and I'm sorry. Ethan was also replying to some T channels, trying to help them out and walk them through the disputing process. he replied to Spillsesh and said, Superbam just does what people authorize/direct them to do.
There was also another situation with ABBA and Preach. I do believe this was last year, so only a couple of months ago, where ABBA and Preach were getting copyright claimed by Jubilee. And Ethan Klein, who hasn't really always had the friendliest relationship with ABBA and Preach, offered his contacts, his details, and his help with the lawyer it is that he used for his own lawsuit that he won to help assist ABBA and Preach against Jubilee. This came so left field for ABBA that he literally was so confused and started shouting Avengers over and over again and thanking Ethan Klein for his help.
First off, gotta give a shout out. Ethan Klein, of all people, contacted me privately. I said, oh my God, is that H3 in my DMs? Is he about to... Nope, he was there to say, hey, bro, you need a lawyer for this copyright claim. I know the best in the business. I said, oh, shit. Avengers. Yeah, that shit was crazy. It's like the enemy of my enemy. Oh, man. So shout out to Ethan, okay?
And it's not just the copyright of content on YouTube. Ethan Klein has been extremely vocal about when he himself has been copyrighted by music in the music industry. For instance, he ended up getting a copyright claim on a video it is that he made parodying Colleen Ballinger's Toxic Gossip Train, to which he said if it needed to go that far, he's happy to take it to court, but I'm not sure it actually went that far.
Colleen claimed our video. It happened about an hour after we posted. I said, Colleen Ballinger uploaded Toxic Gossip Train to CD Baby and's claiming us. So here it is. She was generous enough to...
This is just H3's best hits. Yeah, this is... I have... To be fair, it might finish before I get my 6 Venom sacks. So, you know. Just think of it that way.
To do our sharing revenue. Yeah, right. Guys, don't worry. I'm disputing it. She's not going to get... You guys know me. I take care of this. She's not going to get it done.
What was a fake strike? What? What was a fake strike? Holy shit. Bah! The Colleen Ballinger one. Okay.
$1. It's annoying. It could take like 2 months to resolve if she really wants to be petty about it. But I know how to navigate this. It's just annoying and funny. I mean, and crazy. I hadn't heard of anyone else being claimed, and then we got claimed about an hour after the podcast. So it does lend some thought to the theory that she waited for us to go home break. It's really scummy and weird and like freakish to claim it because it's like an apology and it's supposed to be authentic and not something that she's making money from. But ultimately, it's very fair use because the song was analyzed, and also the song that we made was a parody of her original song. So I think that it's absolutely fair use.
There was also another situation with another content creator called KSI. Last year, he made a song called In the Thick of It that everybody hated. So there was numerous different content creators who were making videos reacting to the music video. Ethan Klein also did the same, but then he ended up getting a copyright claim. Ethan Klein went on to call out KSI and also critiqued him for attempting to silence negative criticism behind the YouTube copyright system. Is it clicking? Is it clicking? Are we not experiencing that hypocrisy?
It starts off when the H3 podcast tweets out, "Our new episode got blocked by KSI, just as we predicted. However, we didn't expect him to reply like this." And then they attach 2 images of DMs that they had with KSI. The first one showing them sending a message to KSI, showing that their new episode was blocked in all regions, with the caption, "Fuck this shit to be honest, at KSI." And JJ responds, "Cry more, pussy, womp womp." And H3 podcast then replies back, "You typically..."
I'm not gonna lie. I'm not paying attention. I'm losing it. It's like she could be making the best argument in the world and I wouldn't notice because of how long it's taken and because of all the fucking 20-minute clippings. I don't know. She could be 100% correct and I wouldn't know. I wouldn't be convinced because I just don't know. I can't follow. What the fuck is she talking about? Why are we this far in? This is the same video, yes.
block videos critical of you? Or is that a new thing since you became friends with Logan? Then he attaches an image of JJ reacting to Jake Paul's new song and continues, not the type of content you've ever made and benefited from, but now that you're on the other side of the fence, it turns out you're actually the giant pussy. 3 Podcasts then quotes himself and adds KSI, and they write, I have nothing but disdain for cowards like KSI that build their entire platform reacting to content, only to turn around and block others that do it to them. KSI literally made it, reacting to others' work, and now he wants to close the door behind him. Through various lawsuits, I've spent millions of dollars and hundreds of hours ensuring this type of bullshit can't happen on YouTube. And then for the offender to be one of our own, it's spitting in the face of the community that made him. I always wondered why KSI—
This guy is one spider ahead of me. That's why I keep fucking missing them. I'm literally just following the same trail that he's on and losing out. He's gonna get a spider now. Look. Oh, I fucking missed this one. No! Alright, good. You gotta reset the goal. Okay. Start another goal. Alright. Let's give it a 1 hour goal, okay? 10. Ah! Don't die while I'm doing the goal. This video will end. Go, go. Start goal. All right.
I would team up with Logan Paul for
It's a
anything,
fucking crocodile.
considering what a serial
spider.
scammer and irredeemable psychopath he is. Why have all your pets died, Logan? But now I can see why. They are both scumbags that's only interest is fleecing their audience for as much money as possible. And thanks for the weeks of content now, bitch. Nicholas Diorio responds, this is a great take, if you omit all the context, lol, and attaches the DM of KSI saying
No,
crime.
this video is a premiere. I have no idea how much more video there is. I'm just putting a sub goal up because I would like to believe that once the goal is met, the video will end. It's like magic, you know? Thanks for the 5 chiffs, Pinocchio's nose. Really appreciate it. I just need to get these fucking spiders, though. Apparently they're everywhere, but the map is only... Oh. I think if you kill the raptors, they spawn in the same place, so I have to kill these as well. Uh-oh. Alright.
More womp womp.
However, Ethan Klein and Gila Klein's brand, Teddy Fresh, have also been called out for infringing on other people's IP. A while back, there was a situation where people were able to find that Teddy Fresh on a few different occasions may have infringed on others' IP by recreating or replicating certain artworks. That's how I remember it briefly, but don't quote me on it. Now, I do believe that Gila Klein had apologized for this huge misstep and fired the person who cut corners in her brand. However, it ended up making Ethan Klein look somewhat hypocritical when he finally met his match in XQC. Not so long ago, XQC was getting called out for infringing on other people's copyright by creating React content that many people did not deem as transformative, and that Ethan felt was directly siphoning viewers from the original content. Now, let me make this clear. XQC is very liberal with his reactions. So I do believe that Ethan...
Aha, thanks for the $4.99. Your abuse is sick.
Ethan Klein in this situation does have some relevant, fair, and valid criticism. However, this is a situation of the right message but the wrong messenger, because on the heels of the Teddy Fresh controversy, XQC was able to leverage them infringing on the copyright of another
Yeah, but didn't they resolve that one because they made a fuck up? Isn't that the whole point? They acknowledged they made a fuck up, so it's not really hypocrisy if they said, yeah, this was a bad thing, we fired the person, and then we're admitting to it. You can still think a thing is bad and then do it and then apologize for it, right? Like, okay, right, fuck.
Person in order to distract from his own transgressions. But that's what happens when you make yourself the moral authority of IP case law.
Well, Ethan, you want to talk about amount of transformation? Then if we want to move on to that topic, let's just get some of your I think your wife's old merch, right? Which is a direct
yes, I love this topic.
I saw that. I've seen it, and some of the arguments you had against it. Oh my God! I think I changed the angle by 16 degrees, and I changed a little bit of the gamma color on this one. That's very transformative. Okay, Ethan, I'm gonna watch your entire thing, not react in any way, shape, or form. And I'm gonna change the color of the gamma and opacity, and I'm gonna rotate it sideways. That's very transformative, right? Ethan, come on.
So let me ask you, before I address that, and I'm happy to, I'm going to address everything you said about Teddy Fresh.
Go ahead.
What does it matter if I'm a hypocrite? How does that affect this conversation we're having? Genuinely, because we're talking about the philosophical nature of taking people's videos, right? And I'm having this conversation with you, but instead of answering the question, you're constantly...
Does being a hypocrite make you wrong, is what he's saying. He's calling a tu quo que fallacy. That's what he's calling out right there. Bam. Hardcore Val, thanks for $2. How good is your Scottish dwarf voice? Don't know. It's more than $2 worth. That's what that is. General Grievous, thanks for $2. Damn you, you monster, make it end. Anyway.
Deflecting to prove that, no, I'm a bad guy. And I don't see why you would do that other than the fact that you don't have a good argument to argue the substance. Like, why do you keep deflecting? What does it matter if I'm a hypocrite?
Well, dude, what does it matter that I'm a hypocrite? Well,
no, I'm genuinely curious, but I'll answer the Teddy Fresh before you do your monologue.
It discredits all your points. It makes you look like...
No, it doesn't. No, I'm genuinely curious. No. No, I really want you to answer it.
And you fell on your face flat. No, it's time to lay on the facts.
No, it's an interesting philosophical question.
Prove me wrong.
Okay, first of all, the Teddy Fresh thing. So Teddy Fresh is a company with 30 employees. And by the way, I love whenever someone's losing a debate to me, they bring this up. It's literally the lowest hanging fruit. And if you know anything about me, you know I've talked about this 1,000 times. But I'll address it because you brought it up.
Go ahead.
We have like a whole team of designers. How good is your sometimes our voice?
Hey, Ergo, thanks very much for the $10. My Scottish dwarf voice is it's not bad, you know, but it's more than $10 worth. It's more than $12 worth as well. You want to tread lightly with this. I'm sorry.
Designers are taking stuff way too close to the source,
abuse.
And I agree, and it's not okay.
Give a fuck. So does my editors, which makes us about equal on that topic. So you can still sometimes, when somebody gets confused at the company, when one of the sweatshop guys gets it wrong.
Hold on.
Oh, my bad. But when my editor gets it wrong, oh no, we are thieving.
Hold on. Let me finish my point.
Yeah, bring out Gila. Hey, bring him in.
Hold on. Let me finish my point.
Hold
on.
Your husband is bald.
I actually wasn't planning to come in, but you brought up Teddy Fresh. Listen, then talk to me, because I'm the person running Teddy Fresh, not him.
Yes.
You want to talk about it, talk to me.
I understand, Gila.
Okay.
And the reason why I brought up that point, okay, is that sometimes some things happen where it's somebody else's fault, it's a mistake, it's a whatever.
Oh, so he knows.
And some things just gonna happen, right? It's just kind of human nature, and just it's a course of time.
That's bullshit.
And the question is, what do you do about it?
Yeah, what are you doing about it on a daily basis?
I took action about it, and it hasn't happened.
Why does he keep calling him bald, man?
How good is your Scottish dwarf voice?
Well, Scavenger, thanks for the $8. There's your Scottish dwarf voice worth $20. And Hardcore Val, thanks for the $20. Listen, Hardcore Val, it's okay, all right? It's just, I feel like I'd be underselling it if it were going for $32. I just, 40 at this point. For a $40 dwarf voice, like, with inflation, in this economy, with a war on, why is no one dropped the fucking venom sack? Listen, okay, just wait, all right? Just wait till I see a dwarf. If I see a dwarf, okay, I'll get on it. But right now, the lack of fucking venom sacks. Oh yeah, and during a genocide as well, that too. Holy shit.
This came up online, people pointed out to us, we had meetings at the office, we made guidelines, when we work with new graphic
What are you
design.
doing about it? That's the question.
What are you doing?
Okay, so the designs you stole. That's called being a thief. A thief, piece of shit, garbage.
Yes, that was not right when that happened.
Okay.
It hasn't happened in a long time, and we actually made efforts to prevent it. You have not.
Are we done talking about Teddy Fresh?
Yeah, if we're done talking about Teddy Fresh, it'd be better because I don't want to feel like we're ganging up.
get out thief before I fucking Robin Hood this shit. Before I start spreading the wealth of your company to other people. Holy shit, I'm about to come at you guys with things and designs. Jesus Christ, bro.
You're being pretty silly, but ours is defensible. Yours is not. Or at least we've made... It's not defensible, but anyway, you know what? I mean, I don't see this conversation going much.
Guys, it is defensible thievery, guys.
It's
stealing in the right way.
No, I retracted that as soon as I said it.
Okay, so now that we have discussed everything...
Ethan's not a very good debater, is he? Mate, how did Ethan get Hassan on the ropes with those debate skills? Huh. How did he make fucking Hassan, like, top political commentator on Twitch, so uncomfortable? Just with like a... He's the drunken master. I know at the end of this he got XQC to do the worm and shit, but whatever.
Health warning.
Because he was being genuine. Yeah. The question asker.
Health warning.
Alright. Health warning. Health warning. Be good. That's one dwarf voice, okay? I hope it was worth. We'll do a couple more before the... I need to probably get some water if I need to get the growl, because my throat's pretty dry right now.
And we're all caught up and up to speed with everything related to Ethan Klein and this current situation with copyright infringements, his history of objective hypocrisy, as well as why I believe that Ethan Klein decided to focus on Mika's rhetoric as well as Aubrey Smalls to distract from the real tea that's going on and the very important question that Adam McIntyre posed to him. What am I
That's hype.
The situation with Mika's rhetoric and Aubrey Smalls honestly just feels like Ethan Klein was just trying to swipe at some low-hanging fruit. As I've said a few times already, these people were extremely inconsequential to his brand, and I don't think it would have changed any.
We just got a Venom sack. We only need 2 more. What a ridiculous quest. Ben, thanks for 25 PLN. These goals get more sadistic and I'm going to have nightmares now. True. Another hour of conclusions. Yes, let's go.
Anybody's opinions a great deal. That's just how I'm taking it. I think there's a lot of people, especially politically driven, that don't stand with Ethan Klein fundamentally, and I don't think that that's going to change. Nothing that Aubrey and Mika have said has changed anything in that regard. So I find it very strange now that the people at TED Incorporated are attempting to control the discussion and the narrative surrounding their name. And they're doing that in a way that literally directly contradicts everything it is that they stand for and everything it is that they built their brand on. Ethan Klein chose 2 small content creators to throw tomatoes at, and his audience quite quickly, as we have seen, followed suit. And I'm not one of those people who sits there and thinks that a larger content creator cannot, you know, speak out against criticism publicly, especially if that criticism was delivered to them publicly. I feel like every person has a right to speak their shit, like chat your shit. But I think it's important as content creators to be mindful of the power it is that you possess and the behaviors of your audience. Like, maybe the posts that are directly body shaming Mika's rhetoric should have been taken down immediately. Maybe we shouldn't create whole new subreddits for people to snark on people that Ethan Klein has an issue with. Maybe his audience shouldn't feel comfortable literally doxing people. I remember at the beginning when the Frenemies podcast fell apart and Trisha Paytas was in, I think it was like a WhatsApp group chat, desperately asking Ethan and Gila Klein to stop their audience from attacking her, and they did nothing. In fact, they directly told her in the text message.
The H3 viewers aren't even that bad. All the new ones who came into the Discord have been fine. They've all been quite lovely, actually. They're a lot more normal, I guess, than other people who come into Discord. Oh, God. One more. I need to get one more of these fucks. I wonder, actually, if I maybe do a stream a bit later on, I might, like, ask about the community, about where each person came from. Because I'd be curious, actually, how many fucking Ethan, like, how many H3 viewers actually ended up watching the streams after. You know? Because I know a bunch of people subbed, but I don't know how many people stayed on, because maybe the live stream uploads were not like their cup of tea because they're quite long and shit. It probably would have been better if I had a bunch of fucking video essays up that were recent that people could flock to. I feel like that's the kind of stuff they'd watch more. I don't know, it's hard to say. We need to go make a Q&A, little gup. Yeah, but this is a Q&A from me to the community, not from them to me. Yeah.
That they aren't going to be doing anything about it. And we saw for a period of approximately 2 years that woman get horrendously harassed.
Please. Please stop. Please saying shame on you both. I was fucking molested and everyone is reminding me of that person's name and telling me to apologize. I've done a lot of fucked up shit. I have done so much shit, but no one deserves this. If someone asks you to stop talking, just stop talking. They won't stop. And it's not because...
I don't know who this person is, or what she did, or what happened to her, or whatever. I'm just saying, if you're getting harassed online, don't do this. Don't do this. This is a very fundamental fact. It's like a fundamental understanding of interactions online. This is Trisha Paytas. What's her thing? I don't know anything about her. Don't do this. People who attack other people online and are vitriolic are like, you realize that that's their only way of having power over you, right? They don't have a voice. They're the people who are screaming at the TV, getting frustrated, and they want to give their 2 cents. And spaces like this are prime for them because they can actually get their opinions heard by someone they don't like. Imagine, like, if you went on Question Time and you're like, I fucking hate what Boris Johnson's saying right now. Imagine if Boris Johnson was streaming every night and you can go and just say something to him in chat and he would actually respond to what you were saying. Yeah, you'd fucking do that. God. Or they'd read your Reddit post or whatever. Like, Trisha is literally acting. Is she? I'm just assuming she actually is being sincere here, so, because I don't know anything about the story. I'm just saying, like, don't do this.
They believe in whatever. It's literally just because they have hatred. I'm getting it from you and Eli, and he's like, this is a private chat. I tried to call him as I record the call. I just wanting him to know the fucking distress that I'm in. And you know what they're gonna do? They'll make a whole video about this with their ads and their sponsors. For what? What is this for? I don't care if you don't even know who the fuck I am. If they didn't know me at all. I am begging for it to end. This is too fucking much. All of it getting brought up again and just...
This is exactly what you do if you want it to end, isn't it? Jeez. Is she okay? This is not a good strategy, bro. It's not good media strategy. The fuck?
His ex is getting doxxed. His immigration, that's everything. I'm just pleading for this to all end. To begging. Because if the situation escalates and gets worse in any sense of the meaning of that, I just want people to know I asked Ethan, Hila, and everyone at H3 to stop. Because it is too much. It's too much. I get it. I'll bring this all of myself, fine. But it's like, it's too much. I don't care.
Lady, just one bit of advice for you, okay? Keep your feet on the ground. I'm just... Hey! We did it. Thank fuck.
Like an actor or whatever. Like, it's straight up bullying and begging. And they have the power to, and just... It's literally too much. You said it's too late, but it's not too late yet. It's gonna go too far. It's gonna go too fucking far. I'm fucking scared of that. I'm fucking so scared of it. This is just me being desperate. I'm fucking desperate. Just please stop. Everyone's saying it's not them. I went straight to them. This is the first time we ever talked since any of this happened. I haven't heard from Ethan and Hila for any of this. And I went to them like pleading, and their reaction was like, no, it's too little, too late. You're no, we don't get to decide anymore what we. It's like I'm just begging, I'm just asking. I'm not telling anyone to do. I'm sincerely asking at like a breaking point. I tried to call privately. I tried to text privately, and I shared those texts because Ethan was like, "I'm gonna share this." I didn't know. I was.
What is the purpose of putting this in? This is like one of H3's fucking victims.
Doing frenemies was the worst mistake. Talking shit about anyone on the internet. I fucking am so sorry because it is life damaging. It's life ruining.
Someone played chestnuts.
I just wish there was like a 1 ounce of sympathy, remorse, or something. I just don't want this to escalate more. I'm not sharing this anywhere else. I can't monetize Twitter. There's no sponsor, there's no ads. I just want this out there. This is embarrassing. This is embarrassing for me. I'm just so bleeding. I'm just so bleeding. Stop. It's not drama. This isn't drama. This is my real life. Moses is real life. My mom, my father. They see it. It's on the subreddit. I can screenshot all of it. It's so fucking scary.
People contacting her fertility clinic and telling them not to allow Trisha Paytas to have children. Basically, people asking to deny a human right of healthcare. People attempting to contact ICE in order to deport Moses before they had got married. People looking up...
Oh my god. Like Finkelstein. They did a Finkelstein. That was not Ethan's fans. I'm guessing this person made a lot more enemies than just Ethan Klein, right? Is that where this is coming from? But she's wanted to do the whole thing where you lump it all into Ethan, the same way that dipshit fucking... What else did I call him? A cunt? What, self-hating Arab, whatever the fuck that guy. He just tried to take all those comments on Mika's video and attribute them to Ethan's community. Fucking moron. Okay. I'm a few minutes behind, but I come from H3. I've been watching all day. Oh, shit. Cool. What about the rest of you guys? Where did you come from? Where is this community? What are we made of? What are we made of here? What are the ingredients of this shit for brains fucking chat? Mizkif. Okay. Wait, how? Is that a joke? Essays, H3, Destiny. Well, it's a bit less of a Destiny spam than I was expecting, so that's nice. Vosh, the essays. Hassan Russell Brand, Ukraine videos. Oh. Cool. Hassan. Yeah, I know that at the beginning, because obviously Hassan gave me a shout out a few times at the beginning, and hippy dippy, vouch. But I'm guessing some fans stayed. I'm guessing some fans joined us on the journey of watching him go fucking mental all year, but probably most of them left. That's what you expect usually. Ugh! Are we doing a census? Ukraine videos. Yeah, the Ukraine videos were, yeah. Talking to Vim about the Winter War. That guy. Fucking hell. All right.
All of the local schools where Malibu could potentially attend school in the local area, which is a huge worry and concern to that little girl's safety. And no matter how many times numerous different people, but most importantly my goddamn self, told Ethan Klein, just step up and tell your audience that this is not okay, he put his head in the sand and said it's not my audience, the same way he did to Mika's rhetoric. Even though I've showed you that in the small time frame that this took place, how much can happen when you don't say anything. When Ethan Klein decided to help out ABBA and Preach with their copyright infringement situation with Jubilee, ABBA created a distinct moment in that very video to tell his audience to leave the staff at Jubilee alone and directly apologize to any of the Jubilee staff that were affected by them not speaking up sooner. And that is what being responsible with your platform is.
But folks who go around contacting these people personally, saying all kinds of foul stuff, listen, critique them. If you want to dislike a video, that's fine. But don't say foul things. Don't contact advertisers. Don't do all that stuff because it's bad. And it doesn't matter what they end up doing to us. I just would not support that. And I mean, I've said this 100 times before and I'll say it again. Please don't. If you guys respect us, I want to be able to respect you, and I want you guys to engage in behavior that's respectable.
Yeah, this is twice we've seen this. As someone attracts hate from like 10 different communities, and then they just ascribe all the hate to H3 because he's the enemy of the day. That's all that's happened here. That's what this person has taken what seems like 4 hours to say. That's it. That's where we are now. What a fucking state, man.
Do not engage in the very kind of tactics that the people who would cancel us would engage in. Don't do that, okay? So be better than that. And I'm sorry for any of the Jubilee staff who've actually been hurt by this or have been harassed or whatever. I don't wish that on you guys. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart. No matter what happens to us with copyright strike.
For me personally, I have never really cared about Ethan Klein's political opinion and stance. I have been spanking Ethan Klein probably since like 2017, 2018, every chance I get, because of one thing and one thing only. The only consistent thing about Ethan Klein, his hypocrisy. Ethan Klein literally fought for our rights as commentators to be able to critique
How many times has she made this point
and
again?
give our opinion without fear. Yet now he's the person who is putting the fear in anybody who has an opinion about him. So just like we learned from the Haas versus Klein law.
Ooh, I can do an instance now. That's cool. Razor fan. Okay. Yeah. Why not? Let's do it. I've got the time. It's fucking midnight. Do I have the time? Is he DMCAing Mika? No, I don't believe he is. Right. Okay. Should I do a looking for group? I feel like I've got the time for this video. No, not create listing, group browser. Category, dungeon, razor fen, refresh. Are there any groups? I see a tank. I see no healers though. A level 38 tank. Okay. Let's invite the tank. Let's get this mage in. And let's get this hunter in. Come on. Get in. That's the mage, right? Yep, okay. Let's get the hunter in. Yep, okay. Where's the tank? Hey, want to tank RFD? Little pug. Just need tank and dealer. There we go. Huh. Tank and healer. Huh. Oh, not the fucking world. Ah! Oh, I thought they were level 55. And they were about to kill me in 2 shots. Holy shit. Alright. Little pug. Oh. Where's the goddamn browser? Am I even going the right way? Alright, yeah. Where's the browser? Listing browser. I was about to run into the fucking dragons by mistake.
Lawsuit of 2016. Ethan Klein, you can't litigate public opinion.
Oh, that's the end of the video, surely. That's
anyway, that is about it
No!
from me. Thank you guys.
Why is she still
so much,
talking?
girl. I've been talking for so long. I've been here for like 4 hours almost, just talking nonstop. I had to take a break and have some juice or something because my voice was getting croaky. But before I go, I just want to let you guys know once again that coming up towards the end of the month / February, we will be starting a brand new podcast. I have a team, I have people, I have co-hosts. It's just going to be amazing. Just please, please, please make sure you tune in. I will leave the link to it in the description box down below so that you guys can be ready when we launch. And also, all of the relevant subject material and all of that good stuff is going to be in the description box down below. My Ethan Klein playlist will be somewhere on the screen as well. And with that being said, I believe in free speech and I believe in the ability for people to say whatever it is that they want to say, even if I don't like it. And if I don't like it, I just remove myself from those spaces. It really is truly that simple. And I hope you guys have an amazing day or evening, whatever the hell it is you're doing. And until next time, you beautiful, amazing, badass bitches, it's been Paige.
Thanks.
Why did I do it like that? That was fucking weird. Right, bye.
Holy shit. How long was that video? Well done, guys. Well done. The video has ended.